Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo 64 Mature Plus for Nintendo Switch Online podcast. I'm your host, Let's Stay, and joining me this week, I have my one and only, best buddy in the whole wide world. Wahoo! I got my main man, Schmunktober Shofu. What's going on, Shofu?
A bibbity booby.
I'm bibbity bobbity.
A bibbity booby.
Schmoobity boobity.
A bibbity booby.
Well, a boobity booby. Joining me this week, my other bibbity boobity, we have Mr. Games Cage. How are you, Games Cage?
Oh, Jamboree, hello to me, Games Cage. Hello to me, hello. Yeah, Mario. Lock the fuck in, brother. Yeah.
Oh boy. Joining Mr. Locked the heck in, we have Mr. McDare. How are you, McDare? How are you feeling on this nice sunshiny day? How are you? Wahoo!
Wahoo!
I think I got on the wrong train. Where am I?
Super Mario Odyssey!
This guy is a schmuck. Get them out of here. Oh.
You are on the wrong train. Now, what do you mean? You like Sonic more than a Mario?
I mean, yes.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I mean, explain why.
I mean, explain why. I had Sonic before Mario.
Well, okay, so this is shithead done talking. Let's talk now to Ghost Word. What's up, Ghost?
You guys gotta go into the real Italian shit,
Mario
okay?
Kart!
Hey, fuck the Celtics. Hey, what are you talking about? Fuck the Celtics.
What's wrong with the Celtics? Who are you voting for instead? You voted for the Knicks? You voted for the Celtics? You voted for the Lakers? Who do you like?
Participating in this bit anymore.
Why?
I feel like it's gonna go down a bad fucking
It's not
road.
gonna go. It's not gonna go down a bad road. Don't worry. Never forget that we got Zeph here too. What's up, Zeph?
Yeah. So I learned something really cool recently. So we all know about the heinous crimes that Kevin Spacey commit, right?
What? Where in the hell is this going?
Do we know? We all know, right?
No.
Yeah?
Please continue.
We're aware. Okay.
So the documentary came out about him grabbing cocks, and
Okay.
he went to a movie with a man.
Okay, where was this going? Where's this going?
And he
This is no less out of pocket than anything Roger said on the show. Continue.
He started to masturbate to the movie. The movie in question and seen on screen was D-Day: Saving Private Ryan. I just wanted to share that with everyone.
What the motherfucking shit?
Bro, why did I need to know that? God damn.
I love how you all dropped the accents right after that.
That's anyway. We have Viram here. Viram, thank you. Viram.
Galaxy.
All right, Viram, how are you today? Please save us.
Well, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm good. I was just, I was playing through Chapter 3 of Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door for the first time.
And how are you liking it, by the way? That's actually a perfect segue in the beginning of the show because we haven't really talked about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. You're on Chapter 3. Is this your first time playing it? I think we talked about that last time on the show, right? That you'd never played it before. How are you feeling? Yeah. How are you feeling about it? Are you liking it? Are you vibing with it?
I think it's a really charming game. I think it's so the only other Paper Mario game I've completed. I've played a couple of the others, but the only one I've completed was Origami King. And the big thing about this game, I mean, I still quite liked it, but this game is definitely a lot better in terms of like the battle system being a lot more fulfilling and rewarding, and the detail when it comes to the character of the NPCs is just a lot more vivid and lively because obviously there's more than just toads.
You got all the cool little NPC characters that have personalities, all the party members. Because what Chapter 3 is Glitzville. Yeah, so you haven't finished Rockhawk yet.
Not quite. I literally just beat Rockhawk, so I haven't finished that chapter, but I've done that fight.
You're getting into some good stuff. I feel like the line of chapters from 3 to probably like 5, 3 through 5 is just peak. It's very, very good.
I do wish for Chapter 3. I really wish for Chapter 3 there was like an option to be like, would you like to go to the next round instead of like announcing you as the winner,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
you back, going back on the GPA, announcing you entering.
Or like how they say at the end of every single thing, you have managed to hit your conditions.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know. I understand I hit my conditions.
Yeah,
But
it's
otherwise,
fine.
you're enjoying it.
That's
That's good. That's what I like
yeah,
to hear.
that's like the only. That's probably like the only gripe I have. Just those kind of little moments that slow down the gameplay. I think my one peeve is that it likes to make you jump upstairs all the time, and I just kind of wish I could just walk up them. It's such a minor thing.
Yeah, no, I get
but
that.
it's like,
That's for sure.
do I have to keep pressing the button to go upstairs?
Yeah, I never realized that. I guess till you point out there is a lot of like jump to go up a staircase, jump.
But again, it's a very minor thing. I'm having a lot of fun regardless.
Right
I
on.
beat it. It was I beat it on stream.
Yep, me too. Me too. Loved it.
It's pretty,
Nice.
pretty lovable
Absolutely
game.
loved it.
To this day.
It was funny too because I feel like I've always been somebody, and I think Zeph agrees with me. I think Paper Mario 64 has always kind of been the better game to me. But playing through Thousand Year Door again, I did appreciate it more. And I do actually feel like this version is the best way to play it. Like, I feel like a lot of the time these remakes will happen and they'll be like, this is the definitive way to play. But like, I can't imagine ever going back and playing the GameCube version again after this. Like, I really did. I really, really enjoyed myself all the way through.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I guess for me, I've played 64, but I guess for me, because I'm a little younger, that GameCube one was my childhood one. So I have like a bit more bias to it because that was the one I grew up. Like I played 64 when it was on Wii U Virtual Console.
And Wii U Virtual, not even the Wii Virtual Console.
No,
wow.
The Wii U Virtual Console is when I played it, got to it. But no, I really, I loved it. I mean, it was a game I always loved, and they did a lot of good fixes to the game. Thank God they saved that like awful chapter. You have to find like Admiral Bobbery. I still think, despite them adding fast travel stuff, the game does have like an annoying backtracking issue.
Yeah, it's still an issue.
It's still there. Yeah, like
it's they only fit the like honestly the only major backtrack they fixed, in my opinion, other than adding in that little hub area. Yeah. When they added a new pipe from Creepy Steeple.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best.
Yeah, that's probably like the only major one. Because you know the one where you got to go find General White.
Yes.
You still have to go back to the hub at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's the second trouble if you're looking for General White again that you have to do off the trouble map where you have to backtrack and do the whole thing all over again too. Yeah.
I think a solution for this, if they ever want to like do this type of Paper Mario in the future, which I think might be the future of the series, if this is as successful as we are led to believe. Paper Mario 1 and 2 both have a section called Map, and it serves literally no purpose. Just let us get like an optional item through a side quest somewhere that lets us fast travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fast travel feels stupid. Like it just should be.
The map is like it's a useless tab. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
That seems like something they could maybe patch in eventually, like if they wanted to do a free update or something on
my
for
shit's
Switch 2.
Oh, hold on, I'll fix it.
Oh, but like, because wasn't that the whole thing that people were saying it runs at 30 FPS, but like it's one of those games that clearly is being like there's things working in the background that can work in 4K or something.
I was gonna say Zeph would know.
Yeah,
This game secretly has 6.
I saw
6
that. It was
FPS
on
mods.
Twitter. People like data mined that it had like a 4K thing in the
Right.
code.
Right,
Mic
right.
back. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
You're back. You're good. Yeah, because I think
a few games have it. I don't know which ones, but one of them is Paper Mario, where it can upscale to 4K, and also it has like when you turn that option on, it switches the buttons. You know how like they're colored in some games now, in some previews. Yeah,
the ones that look like the Super Nintendo colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Well, cool. I don't want to take up too much time with Paper Mario because we do have a lot of other stuff to talk about, but I realized, and I'm very sorry for this, in the middle of that bit and all the stuff that Zeph was talking about regarding Kevin Spacey, I forgot to bring up the one and only Mr. Ricky Cocaine. Caw.
Do you know how much tension was building inside of me because I wasn't introduced and then I can't speak?
So I introduced. Well, to be fair, you were in a video on the trending tab on YouTube today, Ricky. So congratulations for that.
And thank you.
Yeah.
And it would not have been possible without you, Roger's Base. And
Rogers Base is not here. Let's Stay is the guy who's hosting today. So I don't know.
Oh,
what you're
okay.
talking
Well, whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah.
It would not have been possible without you, whoever you are.
All right.
And you're reacting better.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And we were talking about D-Day earlier, but I think that's a good transition into E-Day.
What the?
Which is the name of the new Gears of War game that was in the Xbox Game Show.
That's really crazy.
End of it?
I didn't know where he was going.
Yeah, we're going to the end of the Xbox showcase.
Well, look, I'm going to be completely transparent, Nintendo bias right here. I'm just going to say it right now. I did watch it. I just didn't give a shit about anything in that. There were like two things that I care about. There was literally nothing else I care about. So go ahead and take it away.
A pretty decent amount of stuff.
I feel like there was.
I actually cared more about this than a lot of other stuff.
Because I feel like there was good stuff for sure. And I think it was a quality Xbox game showcase. I'm just saying, for me personally, there was very little, if nothing.
There for you.
So go ahead and take it away. Go ahead.
Well, Gears of War E-Day is, I guess we'll start there. Gears of War E-Day is a prequel to the original Gears of War. I think it's 10 or so years before the first Gears of War when the Locusts first emerged. It was a cool trailer. I like that, I don't know how many people even saw the original Gears of War trailer, but the original trailer that went didn't really go viral, but that everyone remembers had Mad World as the theme for it, and all throughout this trailer they're playing a motif of Mad World. So I thought that was a cool little callback. It started with the biggest first one was Doom: The Dark Ages, which looks really cool. So also a prequel for the original Doom guy, but more medieval-ish, but it's still Doom, so you're still using shotguns.
That shit looks fire.
Yeah, looks really good.
I did look sick.
The order of the rest of these I don't remember perfectly. I know Fable is the next thing I would want to talk about because finally seeing gameplay of this game I've been waiting for ages, and I'm very excited because I thinking about it, Fable's probably my favorite Xbox series, which is when
was the last Fable game? The last
on
full...
the 360. That was Fable 3.
Woo! Man, oh man, oh man.
Yeah,
wow.
It's been ages. That's why I really want this game, and it looks.
What y'all talking about so far?
We're on Xbox Showcase.
Oh, I bet.
So, yeah.
Did he leave?
He should have put away. He's like, yeah, call me when we get to Nintendo.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
But yeah,
I just didn't see. I saw PlayStation Summer Games Fest. I didn't see Xbox. I forgot to watch that shit.
It's no problem. We're almost almost done. I'm just hitting.
There's more to Xbox.
Almost. There's way more. What are you talking about? Almost.
I'm going through. I have the picture up. I'm going through stuff. Don't worry.
Nice.
Oh,
but
drop
yeah,
the picture. Drop the picture.
It's already in
right there.
Bro, it's in the chat. What are you talking about? Anyway, Fable is very excited for that game. They finally showed Perfect Dark, which is another game that's been in development for ages.
That I'm extremely excited about.
Yeah,
I am also
really
that's one of the two that I am very excited for. I cannot wait.
You both played the original on
No, I haven't.
64?
In fact,
that game just looks really legit. That's all.
You should have known, Ricky, because we talked about this earlier when they announced Perfect Dark for N64 NSO. I said I had never played it before.
Sometimes you have to fake the funk and revitalize the conversation or vitalize the conversation by asking questions you already know the answer to.
Nothing though. I don't want to fake anything.
That's all. I was just trying to pad right there. You could have played along.
There was nothing to pad. McDareth was doing a great job, and Coast was doing a great job explaining the Xbox Showcase. You don't have to pad for anything. All right, continue, please.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Perfect Dark looks really good. That's another game. Like I said, is in development hell for ages. That game was supposed to come out. I think they started working on it after Cameo. I could be wrong with that, but it's around that time. It was going to be a 360 game, and it's it took ages.
There's a Perfect Dark 360 game.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So
also, that game
it's
is
probably
pretty good.
the Xbox One then. I've heard people did not like Perfect Dark Zero.
I liked Perfect Dark.
No.
The only one I played
that was not received well.
Really?
No, that one was not received well.
Well.
But dude, this game looks sick. It has elements from literally every game that I absolutely love in it. The stealth portion. There's parkour elements. There's action in it. It's sick. It's looking really promising. And it was one of the few games that was shown that had actual gameplay to show off. That wasn't.
I
over the
did
top
appreciate
scripted.
that a lot because I feel like a lot of the time these showcases do just have a bunch of CG stuff, and this game's still pretty far out too. Like Perfect Dark, they didn't say is a 2025 game, did they?
Yeah, they did. It's like
yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
Oh, they did. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another thing that was like a new game, because the thing I really liked about this is even like there's stuff that was indie besides like which one was that? I'm trying to look at this. I don't even see it on here. That like Mixtape. Mixtape was like an indie one that was very obviously indie in the mouse game Winter Burrow. Very obviously seemed like indie games, but like even they seem, I don't know. I just see when I can see an indie game from like Nintendo or Sony, it feels way different than how Xbox handle these ones. Sure. Either way, Expedition 33 is a turn-based game that, it's funny because, you know, Mario and Luigi is back now, but a turn-based game that's in that vein where you actually do inputs to parry, dodge, and time your attacks when hitting the opponent. So that actually looks really good.
I learned today that apparently the developers said that they got inspiration from a bunch of games, including Golden Sun. So,
oh, really? Okay.
I initially panned that game when they first showed it, but then when I went back to rewatch the showcase, I realized that it kind of feels like a Western like mishmash of like Persona and Mario and Luigi and Xenoblade and Golden Sun. Like, it's got a lot of elements that I'm interested in, so I'm probably gonna check that out.
That's also the other one that I was interested in from this presentation. I thought it looked pretty cool because it's almost like a JRPG, like you said. It's like a Western JRPGs. And to be fair, I don't usually like Western RPGs, and I love JRPGs. So if you're gonna do a Westernized version of one, I'm probably in. The art style I also thought looked pretty cool, like the flower petals and stuff that would fly around after certain attacks, and they kept the cool Persona menus and things like that too. The counter thing that you were talking about, yeah, it seems like it'll be a good time. Also, that game is also on PS5, right?
That I don't know.
Don't
Either
think
way,
so.
it'll probably be on PC.
Looks cool. Looks cool regardless. Also, one other, I'll take one away real quick because there was a third thing that I was also very interested in this, and that is we finally saw some gameplay of the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater
sir.
remake.
Thank you. I was going to ask.
Yeah, Snake Eater is like one of my favorite video games of all time. I adore it. And I think like the way that they're, you know, just basically polishing up the game, but obviously not taking anything away from it is exactly what I want. I feel like I went back and I played Snake Eater kind of recently when they did the MGS collection a little while ago. And I was like on a plane or something and I played through like the first couple hours and it still very much holds up. So I feel like they don't really need to do much to it. Just give it a new fresh coat of paint and it looks great. So I'm very, very excited for that.
Definitely
and
happy.
David Hayter's coming back, which is great.
The trailer when it's David Hayter.
I've seen some people complain about the art direction, how it's not like 100% faithful to the original release, and yeah, some people are freaks. I've realized that a lot of the takes people have on games nowadays are so fucking like you're fucking stupid. Shut up.
There was a lot of that a little bit later that we'll talk about.
Argument.
Yeah.
Powerful argument.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good though.
Couple quick ones. So Starfield expansion. That game's still getting something, I guess.
You didn't even have to bring it up.
I'm just going through them. Life is Strange Double Exposure. I think it's a sequel to the very first Life is Strange. Anyone that likes that, I never cared about that series. Log Siege of Dawn is another Souls-like. I forget what the really twist for that one is, but a Souls-like game. Atomfall looks like Fallout style-ish game. Like, so that gave me like Fallout vibes, but also gave me like BioShock vibes, kind of.
It was basically what if Fallout happened in England or whatever the fuck.
And then Fragpunk is a hero shooter, but you have cards, so you basically cheat codes, like give everyone large heads or stuff for spawn grass. I don't know about that. Mecha Break was also shown at Summer Games Fest. If you like mech combat. Sea of Thieves expansion. What else? State of Decay 3, Flight Simulator 2024, the World of Warcraft expansion, and Diablo 4 expansion. I knew about those. So it's kind of whatever. Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Dude, that World of Warcraft cinematic was sick.
Yeah, it had really cool vibes. Definitely playing at the nostalgia part of it, because it's literally going through like when I started, the first note is like, oh, this is WoW, because I played that game for over half a decade. No, over a decade and a half. But yeah, we've already known the expansion's coming at least. But because it's owned by Microsoft, it's good. It's getting some bug here for people that don't know. Some better things Avowed. We finally got gameplay of Avowed, which is like Obsidian, their own, not really their take on Elder Scrolls, but it's that style of game, a first-person medieval RPG. So I'm excited for that one because Obsidian's a really good studio, and seeing them get to do their own stuff is really nice. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle got a big section, which they're actually showcasing that they're keeping the humor very true to indie, which I think is great for, like, that feels like if you really like Indiana Jones, this is going to be a very fun game for you. Which is,
to me, it also seems like if you like how Last of Us is structured, you're gonna like it as well.
Or like Uncharted is the other thing that I'm trying to play off of. Yeah,
potentially. So another one that wasn't so big here because the Dragon Age is the Veilguard. It was God, I can't remember the original name of it, but they changed it to the Veilguard. The trailer they showed here was not so great. Because it doesn't really fit the theme of Dragon Age. Then they showed like gameplay. They showed 20 minutes of gameplay, and like I'm torn. I'm really torn on this game because like I love Dragon Age, but it feels closer to Mass Effect than it does Dragon Age.
When they announced it like a couple years back that there was a game in development, I was so excited. And then they revealed all that stuff last week, and I was just like, "Oh man, that's gonna be rough to get through."
As somebody who doesn't really know or care about Dragon Age, like, what is the thing that made you guys go, ugh?
They're making it way more action than like, because Dragon Age, like, I think they call them CRPGs, like what Baldur's Gate 3 is.
Yeah.
Like Baldur's Gate. I mean, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are the Dragon Age successor to that because BioWare no longer was doing Baldur's Gate. So Dragon Age Origins is like close to Baldur's Gate, but not exactly that, but it's close enough. Then you get to Dragon Age 2 goes more action. Dragon Age Inquisition is like open world and more action, and this is like even further. It's more action. So I don't like. It's just odd because like they already have Mass Effect. So why make Dragon Age closer to Mass Effect when you have Mass Effect? Why not just make Dragon Age? So I don't know. I'm just like I'm kind of torn. I'm still gonna play it. I hope it's still good. But stuff that concerns me about watching gameplay, didn't see my party's HP at all in a fantasy RPG. That kind of like I don't know why RPGs are going this route of your party's just there. They're like cosmetic. I mean, you can still choose stuff. You still pick skills on them. You can still equip gear on them. You can still have them use abilities. But like, if they don't have HP and they can't take damage, I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. I feel like it takes away from it somewhat of that aspect of it. But maybe that's just me on that one.
I mean, I don't know. Ari, what do you think about it?
I agree.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you for your input, Ari. Appreciate it.
It's a bug.
Her icon is visible. I think your internet just is sucking dick.
No. In the look at Shovel's stream, she's an invisible icon, bro.
Oh,
No
I
one
thought you meant
there.
on Discord.
Oh, it's okay. I'll go then.
No.
Oh yeah, it's not popping in. No, you're fine. You gotta stay. We're talking
No,
Nintendo.
You can stay if you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're all good. It's
I'm
fine.
really excited for Mario Party.
Wait. We haven't even. Wait, don't skip ahead. We gotta talk about Summer Games Fest.
Hold on.
We gotta finish
There's-
Xbox first. We got a lot of stuff.
There's
Yeah.
one game with the Xbox that you haven't brought up because it doesn't deserve to be brought up because of how dog shit it looked like and how much it pissed me off.
Okay.
South of Midnight.
What?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That
I
was
have to get around to
the
that
worst
one.
fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Well, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but
Oh yeah,
that
it's
was
like. No, you can go.
the way they presented it in the trailer was just it was too industry like.
To industry, what?
Yeah, like it was so robotic.
Yo,
No, it's
Who's
low
giggling?
frame rate. Okay.
No, it's not even the frame rate. It was like
Oh, that's the Spider-Verse Bayou game with
Yes.
like the alligators and stuff. Oh yes.
yeah. And also, why it threw me off. I think this was the game. Like there were swords and shit, and then someone had a fucking shotgun randomly.
No, that's not South.
That's not that game. Okay.
No.
South of Midnight. It was like it just.
Oh, that was Summer Games
Fadel
Fest.
keeps giggling, bro.
Because Ira is here, you know what it is. Anyway, that was Summer Games Fest. You're talking about the expansion to fuck, what is that MMO called? The MMO by Amazon that like they're like medieval, not medieval. They're like Spanish Crusaders.
New World.
Yes, you're talking about the expansion to New World.
Oh.
So that's not the South of Midnight game.
But wait, I swear wasn't South of Midnight the one with like the thing in the lake and whatever? And
yes, but there was no shotgun.
I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking
about. You talked about something where they were medieval, then they had shotguns. That was the New World thing.
Yes, that's a separate thing. Yes, I know.
Okay,
South of Midnight, I know what game I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I got you.
You're right on South of Midnight. Yes.
Yeah, that trail. I don't know. I just didn't like that trail. I think it didn't really sell the game to me. It felt just the way they delivered it felt kind of cringy to me. That's just me.
Yeah, I think it should have probably more combat. Pick a section that's some more combat they can show off. Probably would have been better overall.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up?
Can you message me when you start talking about the Nintendo Direct?
Yeah,
of course, we'll ping you.
Just please stop tickling Fadel. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No.
He has a show to do. It's not time for this.
What the fuck? Are you cutting out every other
you're
word?
Breaking up, Ira.
Okay, goodbye.
We'll ping you.
See you soon. She's wonderful.
Okay.
One of
I was
gonna say one other thing before we move on because we're almost done with this. Like Stalker 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which people are upset about because they're doing the Black Samurai thing, and people are claiming it woke. People need to go outside. And Age of Mythology Retold, which is I'm excited for that. I used to really love Age of Mythology.
I'm actually glad you brought up Assassin's Creed because I actually do think that looks pretty cool. I'm not somebody who has really been into the Assassin's Creed games, and I've kind of been waiting for them to do a Japan one. And I do think based on what we've seen of it, because there was a little bit in the state of play or the Summer Games Fest? They showed it somewhere else, and I genuinely thought it looked pretty good.
I'm more interested after seeing gameplay of it because when it was first announced, I'm like, I just don't trust Ubisoft anymore. I used to love Assassin's Creed, then they switched to releasing that shit every year, and it just became worse. And Ghost of Tsushima exists. I could just play that.
Yeah, true.
But when they showed some gameplay, it looked more interesting. So I'm a little more interested now than before.
All right. Well, are we done with Xbox? Should we move on to the Summer Games Fest stuff?
Yeah, I think that was most of everything.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do then. We're gonna start with this, so it's not like lingering on and people aren't waiting for it. There was a lot of Sonic stuff at Summer Games Fest. Go ahead and take it away, Fadel. You played
1 minute.
it.
I'm counting.
1 minute and a half.
Sonic and Shadow Generations, go.
All right. I got to go play it. Sonic Generations is Sonic Generations. Shadow Generations is fire. I got to play 2 levels. Space Colony Act 1 and the Bio-Lizard fight. Controls really well. The music is sick. Shadow has this chaos control mechanic where you can slow down time, making it so you can make different platforms with like projectiles and shit around you, which is really fire. They're cooking with how it looks. There's going to be these crazy Doom powers in the game. There's going to be Kingdom Valley in the game, which is crazy. So it's taking the idea of Generations and applying it to Shadow. So basically people can get the full Shadow story before the movie. But they really did cook. Okay, that's it. I'm good.
Any word on Chows? Any
they said there's no Chow Guard in the game.
Missions. There are Chow rescue missions in the game, and you can have a Chow follow you in the levels.
I feel like it's going to be like Frontiers and rescuing the animals they had in the DLC.
Yeah, and there's an open zone.
There's no full. It doesn't sound like it doesn't seem like a full garden is coming.
That's a minute.
There's going to be a Chow Garden mobile game.
Yo, shut up.
I don't know why they have not done that yet. That honestly feels like easy money. Oh, they said it?
So one quick thing, because it's something that wasn't playable. They announced that like instead of the white space or the part like in between levels is going to be like a Frontiers open zone rather than just walk across this thing like it is in Generations. And he's going to have like power-ups and shit in there. So they're actually trying to go all in on making Shadow look cooler. Or, do more with him since he hasn't been playable in, over a decade.
Shadow is already cool though, to be fair. We love Shadow. Also, didn't you interview the head of Sonic Team when you were at Summer Games Fest?
I did.
How
It was
was
very
he? Was
cool.
he a fan of yours?
He's recognized me. He's done a few like bits with me, which has been funny.
Nice,
didn't
nice.
say yes. That's
he's
crazy.
He's a very nice man. He's a very cool guy. You know, very informative. Very.
Did he
You
give
can
you
tell
any
obviously-
information?
So
Not too much.
So he
He's very like
tolerates
media
you.
trained to not answer. So I tried to like ask him stuff, but he gave me some details about the game. Just about there's going to be like the different Doom powers, and how the game is just going to tell you the complete. It's basically just a way to have like Shadow's entire story told in a game, so people like can get who he is.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to find more out about him in the Sonic movie at the end of the year.
Yep.
But
Yep,
we have other stuff to talk about regarding Summer Games Fest, and something I think actually a lot of us are interested in, which is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yes,
Dragon Ball
sir.
Sparking Zero, looking pretty good. I gotta say,
Peak.
how are we feeling?
Oh, bro, it's over, man. It's over.
Okay. You have insight, Fadel. What is the information, the intel you were able to get? Is this game
over,
actually
bro.
gonna cook?
It's a lock, man. Fighting each other is
Really?
going to be peak, bro. It's gorgeous. It's fun. You got the insane specials that like look perfect. You have the unbalanced gameplay, which is perfect. If someone's gonna play as Mr. Satan, they're gonna suffer for it. There's no balance
So
bullshit
no
here.
balancing.
No
Okay.
balancing.
Oh,
Thank
thank
God.
goodness.
You just get to
So that
play a
It
game.
adheres to the show. It's faithful to the show. in that way.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
But it's like, playing it was surreal. I did feel like it was a little and they could have just been me, like, because I was trying to figure out controls and the CPU was bad, like felt like a little slow on the attacks because like there's so many animations that they're doing. But when you're just doing cool shit, I can imagine once you're fighting someone good and you're both, dodging each other, beam clashing, doing all the crazy shit, it'll go insane. And obviously beyond myself, there's just been a bunch of clips of people doing all the ultimates and specials and shit. And it's like, it's so good, bro. It's so good. And it comes out this year
You played
too.
the
It's over.
Tenkaichi games? You
Yes.
played the old Tenkaichi games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
so-
footage of like the games side by side, and it's the same Vegeta combo in both
Yeah.
games. The
Which is
only
crazy.
thing
Oh,
I
it
complain
controls
about with that
exactly the
game
same.
is like,
Yeah.
but like the camera, I needed them to fucking chill with that. In
Yeah, they
Tenkaichi,
changed
it's
it a
like
bit.
stable, and then in this game, it like moves to like a different angle anytime you move. It's weird. It's super jittery,
Yeah, they tried
Yeah,
to be a
you-
lot
you
more
get
cinematic
used
with
to
it.
but it just makes
Yeah.
it really hard to follow.
Yeah, they showed like a Japanese updated build, like better than the one we played, where like it is a bit better. But I see what
Oh,
you
okay.
mean. We know like 90 characters out of like 160, which is crazy. And the fact that it
Can-
comes out this
How
year,
many
is
of them?
insane.
How many of
We
them
know
are
there's
just
96.
Goku and Vegeta, though?
Yeah, I would say
that's
about
Budokai,
50 to
though.
40 of them.
About
Hey, you
80
complain
of
about
them.
that? That's what series is.
Can
Aren't you
someone
supposed to be a fan
explain
over
to
there?
me- Can someone explain to me what
I
the,
am a
the
fan. I
story shit
understand that
is?
it can be all Goku.
You can
and
just make
Vegeta.
like I'm pretty sure what it is it's gonna be something like you have preset phrases or something.
Yeah,
for
that's
each
what I thought it
character.
was.
Here's what it is. Think of it's basically Mario Maker, but for Dragon Ball. So
Okay.
it's not
Right.
just phrases. You can choose like what pose.
It's not
they
like you're
start the
actually
fight in.
making OC like with a
No,
keyboard.
just the
Okay.
campaign stuff, which I think is going to be like that's content creator galore. Like, people are just gonna
100%.
make-
That's
Absolutely.
exactly what I thought. I feel like I watched that and I instantly was like, they did this specifically for
100%.
YouTubers.
Well, like the
100%.
one of the best things about the Dragon Ball games have always been the what if things. So
Yeah.
this just makes
Of
like
course,
an
of course.
infinite amount of them.
And
Absolutely.
just the general
no,
breadth
they-
And I-
of the single player content and the story content.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I liked like all the little frames, the thing where it looks like you could make your own version of like the Dragon Ball Z previews, like the next time
Yep.
on Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
All of that I thought was really, really neat. So
And I
I'm looking
think-
forward to it.
The campaign suffers from that because again, then because of that, the campaign ends up having that sort of like Mario Maker feel where like you can tell a lot of the cutscenes are made with the in-game builder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's a lot of
Mm.
cutscenes that will like they'll do one move and it's like a slow pan. They'll do another attack and it's a slow pan. So I think because of that, the campaign can be limited. There's some moments that are like fully animated. We only saw like the one where he does the special beam cannon to Raditz.
You can
But
see it in
I-
first
I-
person.
Yeah, you could switch
Yeah, you can
perspective.
see different POVs, which is cool. But yeah, I think that's really is. I think the campaign's definitely gonna like suffer for it. But I think their logic is just like if you want the
Do we
big
know what the
cinematic
online is
version-
gonna be like?
We know there's like regular and ranked.
No, like netcode.
I doubt.
Oh,
they
we have
said
no
that
idea.
yet.
I thought they
Because
didn't say
if
it,
this
but
shit's, they're already teleporting, bro. I don't need more.
I'm assuming it's rollback because Bandai just does that now. But we I don't know.
You
We'll
kinda
see.
cooked just now.
While we're on the topic of fighting games, I think this would maybe be a good transition point into talking about the
Wait, one more
reveal
thing.
of-
One more thing
Oh, yeah.
about Sparking Zero.
Go ahead.
Since obviously it's gonna get DLC and they're saving characters probably for DLC and not putting them in the base
course.
game. One thing I've been hoping, instead of like the standard character pass for games, it would be cool since it's the like nature of this series. It'd be cool if they just had like 20 fucking characters added.
Oh, they
at
do.
once. Oh, really?
Well, so they confirmed the season pass is 20 characters. Pack 1 is the superhero movie, and Pack 2 is Daima.
Oh, that's sick.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
They already confirmed
did-
20
That's
characters for
nuts.
DLC.
I did laugh that the pre-order bonus characters were 3 forms of Gogeta and 3
Yeah.
forms of Broly.
Yeah, and he's gonna just not be like he's gonna be as
It's
broken
an
as
early
the original
unlock,
game.
yeah.
Do you have a gauge of what the pricing is going to be like? Because this is a moment where
$70.
they could really
It's already,
extort
it
us.
says it's $70.
Yeah, it's
No,
standard.
$70 for the base game, but I'm talking about for
Oh.
the DLC.
It's probably like
gets
100.
I think
20
you can
characters.
order it. I think it's $100
run out of
total. I
pockets.
think it's like $30.
To get the season pass.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
fair.
mean, all things considered, if you put together like the amount of money it was for Smash characters or whatever, that sounds right.
Yeah.
$100
And
for all
also,
of it.
I'm getting the impression it's because of how they're handling local play. It might I feel like it's gonna launch relatively bare bones, but they might add stuff feature wise.
I mean, I think all they care about is the roster. Like having that
Yeah.
many characters is
Yeah.
like gonna feed people for a long time.
I also do like we kind of skipped over it really briefly, but one thing I also really do like, you guys talked about like the scaling and not balancing it. I do think that will also make for fun videos, like people trying to beat super
Yeah.
overpowered characters with weaklings, or like going online and beating people up with weakling characters. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
The Hercules, the Chaozus, the Krillings.
That's
all
what I'm
that.
saying.
It's
Absolutely.
pure entertainment. Yeah. I know I had one more question. What was it?
I got a
Okay,
question.
just the last bit.
What's your question?
Does it feel unique? Like each character, do they feel somewhat unique, or do they all kind of just play the same?
I mean, the basic combos are gonna be what you expect from everybody, but like you have 4 distinct special attacks, so everyone does feel different. I mean, look at all the clips going on. Like Super Saiyan Goku's attacks are completely different from
I
Super
just want to
Saiyan
let you
Blue's or
know that
Super
he's
Saiyan
fucking
God.
lying.
It's not true. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, Fidel's right.
He's
No, their
fucking-
basic combos are all the same. But every character's specials are all different.
No, that's cap,
I'm-
bro.
I'm
Half
not
the
under
character-
any
Half the
delusion,
character,
Shofu.
bro. Huh?
I'm not under any delusion that this is going to become like a competitive game. I don't think.
Hell
I don't
no.
know.
I never said that. Look. The less serious we take the game, the better. I'm saying
Oh,
that's
that's
why
what I'm
everybody's moves are different. I guarantee you, half the characters in the game will have a beam of a color, and it's going to function exactly the same as the other guy's fucking beam.
No, for sure, but it's about the animation.
Yeah,
The
they played
animations
the animation to match what that character did in like the show or the manga.
I sure
with
hope
that
so.
attack.
Even then, I kind of get what Shofu's saying because, like,
Mhm.
you know, when you have a roster this big, you kind of you go down to the sort of more generic characters that didn't really
Okay.
have too much individuality to their moves.
Sure,
anyway.
sure.
And so, like, those characters are gonna have samey feeling moves. I mean, that's how it was in like the Tenkaichi games anyway.
Yeah,
You play the fucking Freezer soldier,
Of course,
and he doesn't
bro.
have
Half the
anything unique about him.
Exactly. I'm not hating on DBZ. Trust me, I'm gonna play the game and have fun just like everybody else. I just don't want
I
lies
would definitely-
being told in my ear.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying
I think
the cool
characters,
specials for
the
each
characters
character
that
look
matter
sick.
will feel distinct enough.
I sure hope so.
Okay.
As long as the
I'm sure they
animation
will.
is cool, it's fire. I mean, if you look at a clip of like Super Saiyan 2 Goku's Kamehameha, which looks insane,
That looks sick.
versus
That
Super
looks
Saiyan
sick.
3 doing Dragon Fist is so sick.
Speaking of things that are sick, going back to the fighting game reveals at Summer Games Fest, we got the year 2 character reveals for Street Fighter 6.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
We are
yeah,
getting
true.
Terry and Mai from Fatal Fury. We're getting Elena coming back finally. And we are getting M. Bison returning as
Finally,
well,
what-
who apparently
he
doesn't
didn't
remember.
watch Street Fighter 4. He didn't watch Street Fighter 4.
Finally, what are you talking about? Finally,
What do you mean?
She was a
That
demon
character is
at
a
the end of Street
freak in
Fighter 4.
4.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying she wasn't here in 5, and I was excited
Good,
for her.
thank
I thought she was
God.
going to be back. So you're not excited? What the heck?
I mean, like, it's cool that she's coming back. Like, as long as it's not like some like Dan type shit, you
as
know.
long as they don't give her healing again. That was like the core.
No. Hold on. You have to consider how Street Fighter 6 works as a game.
Didn't they specifically make a statement about this?
Part of the reason why it was stupid in Street Fighter 4 was because it was tied to her Ultra, and you got Ultra in 4 by just like taking damage.
Oh, okay.
So she would get the healing from taking damage,
and then
she'd take more damage, build another Ultra, get another healing. But in Street Fighter 6, with how the super gauge works, she wouldn't be able to just
Street Fighter 4 was definitely just a broken fucking game. Like,
of course it was.
But a lot of the problem was on the game and not Elena herself. But other than that, like Mai and fucking Terry being in the game is crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Specifically with the stuff for Ultra, because Ultra was taken up by a different set of developers from the people that developed regular to like Arcade Edition. So that's why characters like Elena is just not finished in that game. She's basically backported from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's part of the reason why she's as absurd as she is. But yeah, no, Terry and Mai look amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
I mean,
the idea of them is amazing.
It's just cool that like between obviously today and that season pass, how much Capcom is like opening up again, like it's the 90s with all the crossover stuff they're doing.
Well, honestly, like this is the first time that Street Fighter's had a guest character that's not Capcom owned, like an actual legit guest character.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God, get SNK to do the themes for those characters.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
a
Street Fighter 6 version of whatever themes Terry and Mai are gonna get, because it's just
Street Fighter 6 music is bad. Not bad, but it's so generic.
Not bad, but
it just exists.
It's so subdued. It's like
fighting game music is known for being like iconic, memorable, and punchy, and then Street Fighter 6 music sounds like I'm in the bathroom throwing up while there's a fucking nightclub.
It's just what I'm really surprised about is how early Bison's coming out compared to
he's coming out in
I'm shocked how soon he is. I mean, we just got Akuma, and it's like comes out next week, and so I'm guessing at Evo, I feel like if Terry's in the fall, then even at Evo they might just show like Terry's character model, but they might not.
Well, I think they could show gameplay of Terry and Mai.
I think they'll show. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling.
I think it'll be.
Terry and Mai. The thing with them is it's not like those characters are like brand new or something. Like we know what their moveset's gonna be.
Yeah, but it's more like seeing them do their moveset on top of all the Street Fighter 6 mechanics. That's
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like they're more likely to show
I see what you
them
mean.
earlier because we are. Yeah, it's not like it's like the new M Bison design.
Yeah, I think Terry with Drive Rush is gonna be a freak.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking drive rush into Buster Wolf, bro, or the Knuckle. Dude, that's gonna be the most annoying anti-air. No, the explosion.
Geyser.
Geyser.
Oh, Power Geyser.
Yeah.
I also just got to say too, like when that trailer first started, I wasn't able to watch Summer Games Fest live. I was at a wedding, and we were driving up to the wedding, and I was sitting in the passenger seat on my phone. And when I saw this trailer start, I honestly thought it was going to be like one of those character trailers, like the one they did for Spy Family.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought like, oh, okay,
that shit was crazy, man.
And then once you actually saw it was playable, I just started losing it. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah,
that was a psychotic thing to do.
Yeah, when I saw him show like Terry with like the Street Fighter font, that's when I knew it was real. I was like, oh fuck, no wait, this is like their characters being added in. It's not like a costume thing. That trailer was really sick, man. They really did a good job.
Yeah, the great anime art style and everything. It was awesome. While we are on the topic of SNK, want to talk a little bit about City of the Wolves? We got the confirmation of my main coming back, Bijane. Very excited, coming back from Garo, Mark of the Wolves. And then who's the other character that came back? Oh my God, dude.
They knew what they were doing with her.
Her design looks incredible this time around. And her voice actress is actually the same voice actress as Farina from Genshin. She does a great job. Ooh. And also, who was the other character they added? Obviously, Janae was added. Vox, I think.
Vox
here or something.
Hold on.
I'm pulling up, but that game is continuing to look really
Box
good. Fidel,
refill.
Yeah, I got to play it.
got
yeah.
to play it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
my appointment cut in. I wasn't able to do it because I was recording that commercial. But talk about it a little bit. Let me know what you thought of it.
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it's gorgeous. It fits right in with like the new fighting games we've been getting, where they just look amazing. And this one, it feels distinct because I've never I play a lot of fighting games, but like of all my blank spot is the SNK ones, like the Fatal Furies and all those. Like the most I've done is I played King of Fighters 13 and like the recent ones 13, 14, 15. But I've never played like the old ones. So this one felt different. I really loved it. I loved how it looks when you do like your ultimate move. This like comic book filter almost goes over the characters. That looks sick. The visual effects are just really, really pretty. And the attacks feel good. I still, again, I didn't get enough time to really practice with the types of moves you can do. I was kind of
Maximilian dude was beating your ass. That's why.
Yeah, he
I
was.
saw the
He
video.
was not.
That's
he
why
was
you didn't get.
okay, this is all right, but no, for the most part, it was gorgeous. It played well. It was they only let us play as like 5 characters, but it was sick.
It really feels like SNK hit an art style that really just works for them.
Yeah,
they've been
especially
kind of
how
struggling
ugly
through
their
the
last
era.
2 games.
It's interesting because like the overall sort of animation quality in terms of the character animation itself hasn't really changed that much from KOF 15, but because the art style has been reinforced so much more and it just has so much more of a distinct visual identity, it just works a lot better. And as you mentioned, like the VFX works a lot better.
Oh yeah,
everything is just a lot more striking. I think like I look at this game and it feels mechanically like a fusion of the original Garou and like Street Fighter 6, particularly with how the rev system is. It's very kind of akin to the drive system from SF6. And I think honestly, like they struck gold with that system in SF6. I think it's a really genius fighting game system. So I'm glad that this game is taking a similar but different approach to it. Yeah,
Also, I like that. I like that fighting games in general are leaning more into the arcadey nature of how fighting games used to be. Like Akuma has Shin Akuma, if you sit down and do the taunt, which it's probably not going to happen, which is a cool thing to do. And in this game, like all the characters have hidden secrets, you just need to know the input for.
Yeah, it was sick. I just think we're at such a good point, man. All the fighting games I feel like are just at their peak.
I agree. Yeah, we're in like a little bit of a fighting game renaissance.
Too many good
right
ones.
Feeling pretty good.
I know that's a problem too. There is too many good ones.
On the topic of City of the Wolves, might be a good opportunity to let you guys know we will be at EVO this year. A lot of us will actually be at EVO this year, playing the game with each other, and potentially you might end up seeing that on a future episode of the podcast. So stay tuned. What's the current head count for EVO? Who's going? I'm going. You're going, Fadel. Viram's going, but I know Viram's going to be busy with stuff. McDareth, you're going, right?
Yeah.
And then Shofu's going. I think Aru's going to go as well.
Who's going? Yeah, Aru's going.
There's 6 of us. Yeah, so that's.
I think Tito said as well.
Tito's going too. We got a group of 7.
And Warchamp is a maybe.
And Warchamp's a maybe. I'm also currently working to tease out a little thing for you guys on putting together like a fun dinner thing that'll make for a fun Japan Time vlog as well. Shout out to Bandai Namco. You know what I'm talking about. And so you guys can look forward to that for EVO as well. I think we're going to have some fun vlog content coming up. On the topic of Summer Game Fest and demos, because obviously Fidel was talking about City of the Wolves and Sparking Zero and Sonic, I do kind of want to jump ahead very quickly to one thing that was in the Direct today, because it was something that I actually got a chance to play at Summer Game Fest, even though it was behind closed doors, and that was Dragon Quest III HD 2D. Now that game obviously got announced, officially like re-revealed during today's Nintendo Direct, but they also had the announcement of Dragon Quest 1 and Dragon Quest 2 HD 2D. Like I said, I got a chance to play it at Summer Games Fest. It is really, really good. I feel like if you like any of the HD 2D games, you are absolutely going to love this one if you are a fan of Dragon Quest. They sort of implemented a lot of the stuff from the modern Dragon Quest games, so like the auto battle features, the speed features, a lot of things that were there in 11. they've implemented into 3 this time around. The music is entirely redone with fully orchestrated by the Tokyo Philharmonic Symphony, which is incredible. And actually, I asked because I know a lot of the time with the Dragon Quest games, they kind of just reuse a lot of the same tracks over and over again that they had recorded for previous concerts or like for other re-releases. That is not the case. This is a fully redone orchestrated soundtrack, and the game has voice acting this time around too, which
Wait, it does?
It does, yeah. Which
I didn't know that.
was not expecting. They did not say it during the preview, and then I turned on the game and started playing, and people were talking, and I was like, "Oh my god, wait, what?"
Is it talk or is he like a silent protag?
So basically, the main characters and the NPCs within cutscenes talk, but the characters like that are just out on the field don't. So it's kind of the same as a lot of the other HD 2D characters, where like smaller characters don't necessarily talk, but anything that's important is voiced. And not only is the like those sequences, not only are those voiced, they're also dual language voiced, and you could swap between them. So you don't need to just have English.
Sick.
You also have Japanese, you could swap on the fly. It's got like just tons of awesome quality of life features. The humor is still there from the original game. All of Toriyama's art looks amazing, the way it's sort of been redone.
I was gonna say like the box art didn't look like Toriyama. I mean, obviously probably couldn't have, but it looked like a different artist. But I don't know if they told you that it was.
So I don't know who does the art of the box art, but I think it is like the
typically him.
team that works on the HD 2D stuff that then is sort of like redone Toriyama's
You're
art.
right. You're right. It looks like their style, actually, now that I think about it.
Also,
the other box arts were him for sure.
Yeah. One thing I'll also say really quickly is, God, man, like the animations of some of the sprites are really, really good. I don't know how much you're actually able to tell from the footage that they showed in the direct, because they only showed a very little bit, and they only showed a little bit in the B-roll footage like that I was able to put in my preview. But man, oh man, the animations are good. I feel like they have these giant sprites that look like Toriyama's art, but are obviously very clearly still pixely, and the environments are really good. So overall, I think this is going to be a great time if you're looking for a Dragon Quest game, and it's coming out at the perfect time. It's like November 14th, I think, is what they said.
Does
so
it
it's
still
like
have that annoying HD 2D like dark filter in the corners?
you know, I actually didn't notice. You can
Like
go
the
and look at
vignettes?
the preview. It might, maybe it does. I'm honestly
I
not sure.
think it might.
Yeah,
From what I'm
I know
remembering.
you could turn it off in one of them. So
I know
maybe
the
they have
lighting.
option.
The lighting is obviously the same as like the other HD 2D ones, but it looked really good. And I think it's clear too that this is kind of in like the upper echelon of the way that the HD 2D games have looked.
Yeah,
like I liked Live Alive. I thought Live Alive actually looked good for what it was, but when you compare this to Live Alive, which I think is kind of a fair comparison considering they're both remake games, this looks like significantly better. Like I think some of the areas, even from the ones that I played, like the tower, looked a lot more like the HD 2D that was in Octopath 2 or Triangle Strategy than what you saw in like Live Alive or the original Octopath.
I would actually say, so just judging from the trailer,
Yeah.
one of the things I actually really liked was they kind of pulled back on a lot of the post-processing stuff that they've done for the
Yes.
HD 2D games. So
Yes.
like, I know this was one of my gripes with the original Octopath especially, is how heavy-handed they were with stuff like depth of field and the bloom, and how like much fog there was as well. Like it felt like they were a bit heavy-handed with those. In this, it doesn't feel that way. Like pretty much every moment in that trailer, looked and felt like a very, very clear moment. It was very easy to see everything.
Yeah, and the detail work in the environments is really good too. Not just is it like clear, visually clear, but also like they have a lot of really cute things that are just sort of running around. Like when you're walking in that underground area, you hear the little rustling of the water going down the pipes within the well. You have like little sounds of rats going like they're like walking around you, and you see these little 2D HD rats in the underground.
How much of it did you play, Roger?
I played the first 2 hours basically. So the opening bit when you're in the town and you're recruiting the people at the tavern, up through the opening like tower area, if you've played that game before. And then I got through that, got to the second town, and I could have kept playing. It was just like I ran out of time. But I had what I had assumed was like a pretty far along build of the game, because there wasn't an ending to the demo. It was literally just like the opening couple hours. Yeah.
What's
So
funny is that I was
wanted.
planning on playing like 1, 2, and 3, because I've only played 11. I was looking to get into a Dragon Quest, and I was reminded that the 3 HD thing is going to be happening. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll play one and 2 to like prep up because they're all connected.
I didn't
And
know
actually, I
until
will,
you
I will,
said it.
I will tell you this. As somebody who's never beaten Dragon Quest III entirely and like is looking forward to it, just so you know, the reason why they're starting with 3, and for anybody who's played, 3 actually takes place before 1 and 2.
Yeah, I didn't know until they said that.
Yeah, I was always curious of that because it seems like the hero in 3 is always really important. So I was always wondering what happened with 1 and 2, but like that makes sense if the 3 is first.
Yeah, 3 is actually like chronologically the first one, which is why they're doing this, and then that's why they announced obviously the 1 and 2 remake today at the Direct. So
now I'm playing 5.
Right on. 5's a great one. 5's a great one. I wish there was a good way to play 9, which was the DS one. There's not really like any other way to play it other than just like emulating it. But 9 is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, I like 9. 9 and 11 were the only 2 that I've played.
And 11's great. Yeah. Yeah. But again, like highly, highly recommended. I think it's going to be very good based on what I played at Summer Games Fest. I think, does that cover all the stuff that we played, Fidel? I don't know if there's like anything else in terms of demos.
I mean, I for a game they showed, I played Phantom Blade Zero there.
How'd you like it?
It was fun. It was great. It's one of those games where when I watched the trailer, I was like, this doesn't look real. But playing it's fun. It is very like button mash. Like all the combos are square, square, triangle, square, square, triangle, 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 square, square. But because of that, there's a lot of cool, different looking moves, and it's kind of like I would call it like just more action Souls-like. Like it feels like a Souls-like, but they want everyone to be able to beat it. So like when you kill enemies in an area, if you die, those enemies are still dead. The bosses aren't as obnoxious. So yeah, it's more like Ninja Gaiden, like Chad's saying.
Right on. Right on. Is there anything else to talk about in Summer Games Fest stuff that we're missing before we move on to the big chunky, meaty Nintendo Direct?
There was the cool Alan Wake DLC. If people are interested in Alan Wake, there was that really cool DLC review. Well, it's just showing it was is it Remedy that does those games?
Yeah, it's Remedy Entertainment.
Yeah, so the DLC is like featuring pretty much all of their main characters that they've ever had in their game. So like the main character from Control, who else was in it? There was another big character. I'm forgetting who it is. Anyways, it was pretty cool if you're like a Remedy fan.
I was also gonna say Roger stepped away, but actually I see decent amount of gameplay from Monster Hunter. So this is another one where like I'm not so torn. I love Monster Hunter, but like I'm okay. I'm trying to say I was a preference this, and Tito's not here because I know he would have a different opinion on this. But for me, I like World, but the longer I play World, the more something feels off with World. But I'm just a person who's played like I played all the Monster Hunters since like Freedom, so I'm like that's the PSP one, the remake of 1. So I basically played all of them up until then. And so like the old Monster Hunter style I'm used to, and I really like it. But World, it changed it in not like a bad way, but it's just like the more I play World, the more it's just something feels weird. Rise felt like, okay, no wait, this feels like Monster Hunter. So I really liked Rise, especially Sunbreak, because it had a much better endgame to Rise. I'm not upset with Wilds at all. I'm still excited for it. I like the things that they're adding and changing, but I'm just that worry of I hope something doesn't feel off to me the more I play this like I did with World. It's like the little thing that's creeping up, but I am still excited for the game. Like they showcased that was the last trailer. They showcased you can swap weapons. There was an interview in this one where they straight out just came out and said that it was Maximilian got to see a preview behind closed doors of them playing it, and he made a video talking about it, and he said that so when you're in the hub, you actually just pick up a quest. Like you can pick up a quest in the hub, or you can open your map and see monsters that are on your map. You can pick one, and then there's not like a loading thing. Like, cause I brought that up as something to like, I'll get back to it. But it's not like a loading thing. You can pick a quest and you just go out, leave the hub, and you're just in the open area, and you can go hunt that monster.
Because that was like the worst thing about Monster Hunter is like how long it takes to go in and out of a mission.
Yeah, well, it's my whole thing last time was if they do that, cool, but like I thought it was worrisome that people are just assuming that was going to happen if they didn't come out and say it because I haven't done that before. but it seemed like they are doing it. So I think that's going to be a really fun and interesting change to be faster going back and forth between those kind of things. They said like you can set up camps while you're out in the world, but large monsters can come around and destroy those camps. Oh yeah, there's crossplay. So you can get it on any system, you can play with everyone, and it's going to launch on all systems instead of being limited to one at the start. So probably a lot of people on PC. So I'm very excited about the game. I'm just there's like a focus mode. So like I think it's in the first trailer, the shot of the sort of like stabbing and like dragging it across the monsters. Like you can do focus, so you can aim with more than just like the ranged weapons to attack a weak point. There was something else I wanted to bring. I think the story bits will be a lot better than World and be better paced, because it seems like the way that the last trailer showcased it, like while you're going through that hunt and story stuff is happening, much better paced than World, where it's like you have to go out, take the quest, then there's a cutscene. Once the cutscene comes back, now you can finally summon your friends. You have to go out and track the monster down through steps and stuff. And like I definitely didn't like that stuff. But I am excited. I don't know. I don't think I'll have the issue I had with World. I see. The thing is, I can't even put my finger on what was off with it, but something just felt off the more I played.
About World?
Yeah, compared to regular Monster Hunter. That's like what I was bringing up. That was like the thing that like near the end, because like I'll tell you the truth, I never finished Iceborne because I started playing it and it's just like something just feels weird, and it's like I don't know. I just didn't click.
Do you play Monster Hunter solo or with friends?
With friends.
Okay.
I do both, because I'm trying to farm stuff. Like, I do it solo, but I do both.
Of course. Because I do feel like that is a big thing with Monster Hunter for me. Is 100%. Like I need to play that game with friends. I like playing solo every once in a while, and like I really do actually love the mobile game, which is weird. Like I'll play that mobile game almost every day, but I do love just being around with a bunch of people in a cult. Yeah, Monster Hunter Now. It's like that. It's one of the Niantic ones, and it uses the same map as Pokemon Go. So basically, whenever I'm playing Pokemon Go, I just have the app open and then I swap over and then I just get all the monsters and all the little things that are there in both. But yeah, that game obviously is made by the fact that you're playing with other people. Real quick, because there's just a couple other things that I figured we could run down really quick from Summer Games Fest. We had the Wholesome Direct, lots of cute little games that were shown off in there. We don't have time to go over all of them, but like I would recommend watching it. I feel like there's a lot of creative little things in there that weren't just like farm games. I almost said fighting games, but farm games this year. So check that out. We got gameplay.
Wait, are we talking about Nintendo now?
Not yet.
No. I was just going through like real quick Summer Games Fest stuff, and then
we're okay. I was gonna Nintendo. Aru.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can ping her because we're about to start. Yeah, you should. Okay. The only other thing is I know there was like that Ubisoft conference. They showed off gameplay of that new Star Wars
you're skipping
game.
So much stuff from. Well, I'll bring up some small things because we're actually.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll leave the big one for last. Okay. Civ 7, huge.
Oh yeah, true.
If you're a big Civ fan. What else was there? There was the Power Rangers game.
Oh yeah, the retro beat 'em up.
Yeah, the retro beat 'em up.
That looks really good. That looks really good.
Yeah, me and Mike are probably gonna be playing that. And then the big one. How did we forget this, guys?
Oh, Killer Bean.
Killer Bean. How do we forget about Killer Bean? The new GTA.
Killer Bean looks phenomenal. Can't wait. Game of the year, right there. Also, wait a minute. Wait, I forgot to bring something else up too, and you said that. The expansion pass to the Game of the Year, Pal World. There's new stuff being added to Pal World.
Yeah, it's like a whole new island.
I'm not
which is kind of fucked. It's sort of impressive.
Yeah.
I will say the other cool thing that was in there was the not that the Horizon game was cool, but that it's kind of
the Lego.
Yeah, it's coming to the Switch.
Yeah, that's crazy that it's coming to Switch. That's like the first time they ever let like a PlayStation IP on Nintendo since like all that shit back in the day. I feel like people don't talk enough about how big of a deal that is because, like, again, like Sony and Nintendo, they're like known typically. They have been known to hate each other, and it never stops at just one game.
That seems a bit.
I mean, at this point, Sony's yeah, but Sony's literally making the Zelda movie now. So I feel like they probably have to have a better relationship. And I also feel like it wouldn't have made like a lot of sense to have that Lego game not be on Switch. Like obviously they're going to sell a lot on that platform. That platform is primarily like if you're going to have a system that you think of kids playing, you would have the Switch, right?
But
like it makes a lot of sense they're putting it on there.
Yeah, I just think it's about it never stops at one. You know, I think this is like an experiment.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we
Just
also
see
got
how
Stray.
well-
We saw Strays coming.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
But they don't own Stray. That's just like that was like an indie game that ended up being exclusive, like timed exclusive, because it's on PC
Yep.
too.
Also, Viram, I see you posted a little thing you might want to talk about from Summer Game Fest. Go ahead and take it away, Viram.
Yeah, so we dropped a new trailer for Hyperlight Breaker at Summer Games Fest,
Let's go.
which is pretty cool. It came out pretty good. So we still haven't got a concrete release date in there for early access, but it is coming this year. I can say that much. And yeah, make sure to wishlist that on Steam. And then on top of that, we showed off our first reveal trailer for the game that's going to be coming after Hyperlight Breaker, called Possessors. I personally haven't actually worked on that game yet. All of my development time at Heart Machine has been with Hyperlight Breaker. But yeah, check out the trailer for that as well. It looks really, really cool.
Y'all better be buying it in chat.
Of course, if you're not doing wish listing right now, what are you doing? Every single person who's listening to this, give Hyperlight Breaker that Japan time wish list bump. Make sure you're doing it. We stand them. And of course, you want to support your boy Viram, obviously, naturally. He's the gentleman of the show. You have to support him.
Of
All right.
roguelikes. I'm definitely excited to try that one out when it's out.
Yeah. With that being said, are
Wait,
we good?
Real fast. This is like
Go
it's
ahead.
a segue in
Take
between.
it away.
It's not Summer Game
Go ahead.
Fest. Just some
Go ahead. Go
updates
ahead.
because I forgot. So the SPIF site was down for a little bit. So I meant to say it last show and forgot. So I apologize about that. It's back up now. Next thing was asked about pre-orders. If you ordered an item and it wasn't like a bundle, so individual items, those should be shipping, if not already shipped by now or very soon. So you should be receiving those soon. But if you got a bundle, we some of the incentives we're finishing those up, but we're almost done those. So once we're done, it should be a couple weeks. So all those who pre-ordered a bundle, those will be starting to ship out soon as well. Just give us a little more time.
Right on. Let's start talking about Nintendo. So obviously this morning we had the Nintendo Direct 6/18/2024. General overall impressions right at the very beginning before we actually like dive into everything.
Better than a lot of the other ones.
Agreed.
That was for me. It was a thing of for a console that's supposedly on its final days. That like it's fantastic by that standard. Like I really went into this thinking, all right, this is gonna be Remaster City. We'll get like one or two surprises in there. No, but there was still a lot more.
There was a lot.
There was 25 remakes in that bitch.
No, there was definitely, of course, there's a
Of
lot of
course.
remasters, remakes, but if anything, there's more new stuff than I even
Nah,
expected.
you're right. I'm
in
just
it.
messing around.
And I also feel like the
But,
thing about it is that like the new stuff, even like when we were doing predictions before, I thought like, okay, that genealogy remake would make a lot of sense, or like
yeah.
things that we already know about, like Metroid Prime, but like there's a lot in here that I never would have expected. Like that Mario and Luigi game that opened things up was shocking to me.
Yeah.
First off, because Alpha Dream is dead. The company that made the Mario and Luigi games is
Yeah,
done.
you're over there
We
tap
also-
dancing on their grave.
We also got, well, no, I'm just saying like they
We just got Paper Mario.
We just got Paper Mario, and then
Mario
just
RPG.
before that,
Yeah.
Mario RPG. So for them to do
More
another
than a
Mario
year.
RPG, yeah, I mean it's kind of
It's
insane when you
crazy.
think about it. It will literally be exactly 1 year when this game
Yeah.
comes out.
That's
So-
insane. They brought. I feel like that had to have been obvious, like intentional. Like let's bring them all back. You know.
Yeah,
and
I do
see
wonder
what
if
comes to,
I do wonder if it's the kind of thing where they're testing the waters and they're like, all right, look, you have the traditional Paper Mario, we have the Mario and Luigi, we have the Mario RPG. Let's see which one does the best, and let's continue from there for the next iteration. Like whatever, because right now they're kind of split, right? Like before we had multiple different Nintendo systems. RPG was dead for a long time. Paper Mario was traditionally consoles. Handhelds were usually the Mario and Luigi games. And so now, like, because everything is consolidated, I feel like they probably, well, I mean, unless they all sell really well, in which case maybe they're just going to continue all three franchises. But I do feel like you said they're probably testing the waters to see what the big one is that they're going to make next.
I do appreciate that this one is a new game. Like the other two were remakes, but it's so cool to see. Like if anything, you would expect this one to have been a remake game because the studio went down and they'd want to like test if it would still do well. But to have this one be the new game is awesome. And I can't believe, I mean, now that we're just talking about, like, I can't believe how beautiful it looks. I know,
Yes.
Roger, you said you're not too big on that. For me, I love the Mario and Luigi games. I've always, liked Paper Mario a bit more, but I've loved these games. And they managed to recreate that Pixar art from back in the day, that sprite work, even the official artwork, and make it look so good in 3D.
And actually, I'm glad you bring that up. Oh, go ahead, Viram. Go ahead.
I think a lot of that actually is they've pushed it even further. They've pushed the overall kind of expressiveness and
It looks
how
like a
they
show.
kind of and how they kind of play around with like the animation principles, how kind of malleable Mario and Luigi are in these games, and just the world in general. They've really cranked everything up, and I think it just looks so fun in motion as a
Yeah,
result.
Unbelievable.
What I was going to say was that, just on that topic, is, again, I am not at all a fan of the Mario and Luigi games. I played Superstar Saga, and then I've tried the other ones, and I just have never liked them. Like, the humor, I don't know, didn't necessarily work for me. This one in particular, like, with the way that it's animated and how good it looks, and how, like, even the animations, all the little basic animations, like the little parry animations and where he's knocking Luigi into stuff with the hammer, it just looks so classic cartoony that I actually think I'm actually looking forward to this one, and will probably play this one, which I never thought in a million years I would say about a Mario and Luigi game again. So that already kind of got me excited, and I thought that was a really cool way to start the show.
And the fact that it's this, again, like, I can't believe that the fact that that's November.
Right. November is going to be stacked, man, with
they kind of
RPGs.
October.
I feel like they kind of gotta put it out in
October,
November.
November is stacked.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
it's more just like the sense of having literally 3 RPGs in a year.
Did they say who's developing it?
Not yet.
I don't think
They haven't yet. No.
I think it could just be done in house because a lot of Alpha Dream people got just absorbed by Nintendo.
I mean, it could be Monolith as well.
I don't think they'd work on a. But anyway.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, I'm excited about the game, but I feel like Mario and Luigi's models look way better than everything else graphics wise in the game, and it's like jarring to me. Like, they look way better than like all the environments. The environments all look pretty cheap. There's like a section where they're in some like lava cave and there's ice blocks, and the ice blocks have this weird ass outline that looks like it's from the 3DS. It's just weird. I'm assuming they're gonna polish it up, but
got time.
The presentation of the overworld put me off a little, but it looks fun. And they kind of told us nothing about anything. We're on some technology island, and there's plug people or something.
Yeah, I do like that. Once again, just like, it's so nice seeing these games, and it's not, Toads and Goombas and Koopas. Like, every frame is just a new, different type of enemy we've never seen.
Yeah. It really looks great. I keep looking at it, and I'm like, man, I never thought I would ever like a Mario or Luigi game, and yet here we are.
I just never thought it would be that soon to come
or
back.
that soon. Yeah. All right, so after that, we got a couple headlines. We got that World Championship game. We got the Fairy Tail 2 game that got announced.
And there was like another game that had the Fairy Tail art style.
Bro.
The new IP from that looks like garbage.
That
game does not look
goddamn
good.
Fairy Tail game looked like fucking cock.
It did.
Oh,
I feel like
my God.
it does look, bro. Show it. Where is it? Look at that
It's
shit.
right here.
Who asked, bro? Who asked for this?
They're just trying to get on the train of all these anime games that have been kind of popping
I
up.
What was
don't
that?
give a fuck.
Fairy Tail is coming back with 100-year wars. They're probably like, oh, we'll just make a game to line up with
That's
that.
kind of what I think it is.
Look
yeah,
at
exactly.
this fucking GameCube game, bro. What the f is this?
I think, what the thing is about this game is the pacing was. I think the pacing was the bad part about this.
The pacing?
I thought the pacing was actually pretty good.
Oh,
The pacing.
Literally, we went this segment where we're going through. This was legitimately. I was like, guys, we're 20 minutes in until we got to the next hype thing. Like this filler.
Wow, I I
Bro,
feel
look
like
at all
we
the
had the
trophies.
total opposite react because like Ricky and I were both in the call this morning talking about this, and I feel like after the Mario and Luigi thing, there were a couple things that
Bro,
weren't
look at the
great. Like,
timestamps that
we
we
had,
looked
I
at.
know, we got like
Impatient,
the basketball Switch Sports thing. We had but like that Mio game I thought looked really pretty. That Mio Memory like robot game I thought looked really
We
good.
skipped over Fantasian.
Yeah, the Fantasian coming to Switch is a huge deal because that game was on Apple
It
Arcade
was Apple
exclusively,
Arcade, yeah.
and now it's coming over here and it's made by Sakaguchi.
Apple Arcade game.
No, but
Another
it
Apple
is.
Arcade game that is apparently like not shit, which is
Yeah, right.
surprising.
It's
is,
because it was a good game. It was
no,
good
no, no,
luck.
no.
Creator, Final Fantasy.
I'm
the
saying
original
another,
creator.
there's another one
Right.
on the direct, the Hello
Bro,
Kitty
Hello
game.
Kitty Island Adventure, man. Lock in.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that,
that's
that
the
was
other one I
another
forgot
Apple
about that.
Arcade game that they brought over.
Yeah, I think there was like a little chunk that was boring, but like during that montage, I'm surprised you didn't mention the best game. We have to talk about the best game during that montage section, and that is, of course, Looney Tunes World of Sports with our
Holy
main
fucking
girl
shit.
Lola Bunny.
No, that's
And
the
even-
shitty
and even
fake
worse
ass
looking
Lola Bunny,
game.
bro.
It even worse looking game.
Go ahead and scroll up, Shofu, and show the people what Looney Tunes World of
This,
Sports
bro,
looks like.
who said this game didn't look like eyes earlier?
It was
Oh
McDermott,
my
bro. This
goodness
game looked
gracious.
Like,
Bro, this
I
shit
did,
looks
I
like
did
ass.
not
on-
say it didn't look like
This one
ass.
game.
I
What'd you
said
say?
yes. I said it looks bad, but it's also on the Switch, which
but
makes it
it's-
worse.
Bro, I don't give a fuck what console it's on.
Yeah, this shit.
I have
This shit
clearly
looks-
seen games not look like this on no damn, bro.
These is like those like discs you would
Frame
get on your
one ass,
PC,
just
your
ass. Open
serial
up straight
bus.
to ass.
Bro, it looks like VR chat.
It looks like a Mario Strikers mod. That's what it looks like.
That is
bro,
literally what it looks like, yeah.
Dude, no, it looks like, you know, back then when you would buy cereal and there was a CD for a demo in it. This
Oh
is that, bro. Literally looks like a PC.
Bro, this is the type of game I stand. They had, you know, the fucking when you go to Toys R Us, they got the games you can play and
Yes,
shit.
yes.
Fidel
I'd
just
be in-
engaged the shit out of all of us.
I'd be in Circuit City.
Welcome, War Champ. Welcome, War Champ.
Fidel said CD. Remember when games came on CDs fucking
No,
20 years ago?
You got
Look,
like a little
all I
PC
know-
demo, man.
All I know, and I said this while we were watching it this morning, is that no matter how crusty this game is, I'm
has
gonna
Lola
find a
Bunny.
way to get multiple free copies of it, and we're gonna play it for a video. It's
Don't
gonna
you-
happen.
Don't you
We-
send me
We
that
are
bullshit.
doing it. Us, Japan time.
Among Us.
Don't
We will be
send
playing
me
it.
that bullshit.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna play it.
You're
I'm
real.
gonna get you
real-
extra.
He
real-
loves this game,
Roger,
man.
you're a real joker. Real joker.
I'm not kidding. We're gonna do it.
Real funny guy.
Show, what do you have to
Truly
say?
Real funny
hilarious.
guy.
Thank
Is
you.
that what you said?
Said funny.
Huh?
I think
Show,
so. Funny.
you're the Among Us
That
guy
too.
here. What do you think of this?
The Among Us?
Yeah, you
I
play
mean,
this
I
game
don't-
more
I
than
just-
anyone.
The new
I
update?
don't. What the fuck?
You definitely
You play Among Us
Is it-
all the time.
I play Among Us more than
Did-
anyone? What are you saying?
Did
I didn't know
okay.
more than any of us.
I haven't kept up with this game.
That's the
Did
deal.
Among Us have like other like roles before this, or is this them like?
Yeah,
adding
I
them
thought
for
they
the-
did.
They're
Okay.
fucking ruining Among Us, man. What happened to my old Among Us?
You don't have
Shut
to
up.
play those rules in the first
They're getting
place.
woke
Oh.
with Among Us with
Yeah,
these
you
new
can make
roles, man.
lobbies
I-
with no roles and
Yeah,
shit.
just it's very common for Mafia to have like roles beyond just like Villager Mafia. That's what this is. It's it's like Mafia. There's Werewolf, there's Mafia, Among Us. It's the same style of game where like there's like the townspeople who can't do shit, and then there's like the killer people who are secretly like they look like villagers, but they're secretly killing people. It's just a whole genre of game. But I didn't know if Among Us had like alternate roles yet before this. But yeah, it's cool to see this stuff.
I wonder if they have like they must have a deal with Nintendo, bro. Among Us has been in like 4 directs now, like literally.
Like,
But-
it's
The
not, it's
deal
not
is
a
that they're popular.
Yeah, the deal is that
Yeah.
they just genuinely like Nintendo.
Can you
That's it.
imagine
Yeah,
that the,
I guess,
the kid
yeah.
game that is on the kid's
I guess,
console is
yeah.
popular?
Guess because they can't show Fortnite a lot here.
I mean,
It's just
they
shocking.
can.
Like, the last direct, like the pre-finale, was Among Us. This direct, it's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been like
Can we just go to DK?
Yeah, so I mean that is the next thing. Obviously, we got the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD port, which actually I'm kind of happy about this. I like Returns more than Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, okay, this
Jungle
see,
Beats
this-
clears all.
This to me falls in the category of like, why of all the 3DS games, this one? Like, we already got this as an HD port to 3DS from the Wii. Was
wait,
there?
wait, wait,
Well,
wait.
I
No,
mean,
I'm
it looked-
starting
it
to
looked-
on
think.
the 3DS.
Yeah, not only is it
Yeah.
not HD on the 3DS, but also like when you do the side by side models, it does look actually significantly better.
Yes, I get it. But
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean is like it is still in that. It's in the Luigi's Mansion 2 category where like it is just okay. It looks better, but
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
the
There's
difference
no
the
new
difference is
features.
there's even like there's not any world in which I'm excited to replay.
I'm
Luigi's
never
Mansion 2.
buying
But this is
I
the
will
same thing
play
with this.
this.
They've already.
I'm never
HD
buying a
tested
full
it.
priced port of a $40 game. I'm not doing it.
I just
I
think
think-
this is more egregious because it was already on the Wii, HD to 3DS.
It's just been remade twice. It's
Yeah,
a remake
I
of
think
a
is
also
true.
remake.
the
That
funny
is
thing
true.
is just
I just
it's like the fact that it came out after the Tropical Freeze like
Right,
Yeah.
right.
port on Switch. So it's like,
I honestly, I think this goes back to what we were talking about in the last
It's a
show. I just think
timing
they wanted something with Donkey
It
Kong.
just fills out the
on
library.
Nintendo World, and
Yeah,
it
but
fills
they
out the
could have done
library.
anything other than another
Oh.
Returns game, man.
Bro, these
But
motherfuckers
I mean, I'm
love
sure they
remaking
will, like,
games, bro.
I'm sure they'll throw at some point DK64 on NSO. I'm sure they'll
Okay,
put
but where's Kid
DK
Icarus
on there.
Uprising? We can do this bullshit, but not Kid Icarus.
Well,
I'm
Kid
fine.
Icarus-
you know where Kid Icarus Uprising
We know
is.
what that is.
Sakurai
We
has
know-
been working on
Oh,
games.
brother.
He's been working on his fucking YouTube.
That game is also
Yeah.
so much more complicated than
Yeah,
a
I
2D
know.
platformer.
And Sakura's gonna be like, I couldn't just port it. I had to add 10 chapters, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm
they
the
add Pikachu.
I hope
Hope
so.
they add Pikachu.
They had Pikachu to Kid Icarus.
Kirby should be
Yeah.
the final boss.
Was
There
that
you
wait? When
go.
was the date for that? That was 2025, right?
Very beginning, yeah. So it's January
January
2025.
2025, yeah.
Then there was that incredibly crusty looking Funko game, Funko Fusion. that
That's the best game they showed off.
Oh my
Horrendous.
God, that game looks like fucking
Bro, for a
ass.
second I
no,
thought it was a
bro, why was
Fortnite
Big
like
Giant- oh, no, we
game
talked
mode.
about Giant Boost.
I didn't know what was going on.
Like, I'm
You
telling you,
see
there was some
Freddy
fire in
Haas
this
there, and
direct.
it's like, what?
There's fire in this direct with Mario and Luigi, Zelda and shit. And I'm telling you, there's some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life in this fucking
Bro,
direct. bro.
there's a clip. I don't know if you
What
guys
the
saw
fuck
it.
is
It,
this
like-
bullshit?
This direct was like 60% fire and 40% garbage.
Can I show
Did
you
we-
guys this clip, bro? In the podcast.
I better
Like,
not
can you-
ever see
Wait,
anybody play
you
did we
play
talk
this
about
real
Dragon
quick?
Quest 3 already? We did, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
we did.
yeah.
we
Okay,
talked
I was
about
gonna
it.
say we didn't fucking skip over it for Funko Fusion.
Oh heck
Yeah,
no.
but
No,
you-
no, no, no,
you
no. We
play
just
this-
talked about it already.
I just couldn't remember for a sec.
Then they showed a really quick clip of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. A reminder of that coming out. The Denpa Men is getting a port.
Looks cool.
What is that game?
I have no idea. It looked cool.
It's
Do you
some
guys
old
remember this is
shit.
a 3DS
It-
game? Do you guys
Yeah,
not
this
this is
is-
a
I
random
was saying
3DS
this
game.
exudes Tamagotchi life energy.
Yeah, that's what it
100% is
felt
what
like
it
to
looks
me.
like. Yeah.
It was a eShop game, and I don't. And no joke, they made like 3 of these on the 3DS back
Really?
in the day. Yeah. And I can't even. They look so similar. I couldn't even tell if it was like an up-res port or a new one. But again, this falls into the category of like, of all the 3DS games, why like where's Pushmo? Why not something like Pushmo or Crashmo that were like big hits on 3DS?
I'm sure they're just sitting in the vault somewhere, just like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. They're just
Yeah,
like waiting,
sure.
you know.
Yeah,
They're waiting for when I die that they'll fucking release it.
yeah, exactly.
No, but I mean, like timing. Like, obviously, I think I saw so many people obviously speculating before the direct, myself included. Like, oh, this is probably when they're going to do Wind Waker and Twilight Princess because obviously they're not going to have a Zelda game, right? And now we saw in this direct, obviously, the Zelda, which we'll talk about in a second, and so now it's clear that they obviously don't even need to do that this year now. With that being said, there was also a shadow drop of that new Metal Slug game that looked pretty cool. Came out same day. They had the NSO update with the N64 Mature app, where now they're
Not
bringing
including
over Perfect
Conker's crazy.
Dark. Yeah, well,
yeah,
okay, so
I was
that's
so convinced we'd see that.
so. Let me explain. I think
Go for it.
the reason why they're making a separate app, they're obviously not doing it for 2 games. They're not doing it for Turok and for Perfect Dark.
It's just crazy that Conker isn't the mature game that they.
Well, I think
it's gonna happen for sure.
Conquer is for sure going to happen, and I think the other one that's probably going to happen is the RE2 game that was on N64. There was like the RE2 that was brought over that was like at the time amazing that they managed to fit that thing on a cartridge, and also the N64 has just like a weird library of M-rated games that are kind of beloved. You have like Castlevania 64 is one that's not a particularly great game, but it's a game that I know a lot of people want to see on the platform.
Yeah, that
so I
shit
think
is
that'll be
awesome.
another one.
Also,
I-
the GBA update is cool.
Yeah, and then the GBA update obviously added 4 swords, which now is going to be able to be played online, which is really
Thank
cool.
God.
That's going to be
That's what I
great.
needed.
I'm glad that
Metroid-
game's gonna get some more play.
Yes,
Dude.
Metroid Zero Mission,
Is
incredible,
that the
incredible
remake
game.
of the first game?
Yes, and it's way better. Don't ever play the first
Okay.
game. Just play
Yeah,
Zero
dude,
Mission.
whenever I've tried to play the original, I'm like, I can't stand this, so I'll play this.
And Zero Mission is like legitimately really good.
Okay.
Zero Mission is probably my favorite. Metroid.
Yeah, I like that. That's the first Metroid I played when I was trying to get into Metroid a couple years ago.
I thought this game that you're showing around looked like ass, but some people were like, "Oh, it's a remake of a really."
Oh, the Disgaea one.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
really,
saying.
it's a really like niche, but a lot of people liked it. Phantom Brave.
This is the
I don't know any-
developers, right? Because like
Yeah,
I looked at
yeah,
it,
Yeah,
it
it
looks
is.
like
It is.
Ah.
It is.
Right,
This
because
shit
I
is
was
running
watching
at
on
12
Steam, I was
FPS.
like,
This
"Is
shit looks like a
anyone
Pokemon
here?"
game. With the frame rate.
Yep.
It looks
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad. I don't
There's
know, man.
so
I saw
many
this, I was
things.
like,
It's like you could feel like, well, it's a Switch game. The frames are just
Yeah,
non-existent.
right.
yeah.
Oh, but I will say the next thing was
It's
incredibly
it's
exciting.
really crazy to me that they say we will not be talking about the Switch successor, and then show us 80 games running at 2 FPS.
Well, because obviously they're waiting until they do their showcase for Switch 2.
course.
Like they're, naturally. But yeah,
Is
we
the next one
finally
Zelda?
have the next one is
Oh,
Marvel vs.
oh.
Capcom 2, baby.
Dude, I couldn't
Coming to a modern
believe it.
console.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. It's more than
Yep.
MVC2.
Dude,
It's
I would
7
not
games.
give a
Yep.
shit, but it's also coming to Steam, so that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming to
that's-
I knew it
that's
was
the
going to
thing.
come to every. It was just the point that
Oh,
they
of course.
announced it.
It's also it didn't say it in the trailer for some reason, but it has rollback.
It has robot, yeah.
yeah.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah, dude.
It's also a
I
physical
can't
release as well.
believe it,
Yep.
man. That's it. This is awesome, dude. Like I saw this, I couldn't.
Another
believe
fighting
it.
game for me to smack Fadel in.
Nuts tab. Lock in.
Jesus
bro.
Christ, bro.
Up
You got
on
another
it.
fighting game for me to
You're
wash
done,
this shit in.
bro.
It's really
No.
crazy out here.
It's not gonna happen, man. It's not. Gonna
What are you saying? What fighting game are you
Bro.
beating me in?
Fighters.
Are you fucking crazy?
I still to this day told you I can beat you at
Give me
Fighters
30 minutes
3.
on that game. I'm washing your
I
shit.
dare you. I dare you, bro.
All right.
Do it.
I can't believe this.
You cannot, bro. You can't do that one. No.
So you're telling me you're nice at fighters, but you silver in Street Fighter.
I'm not silver. I'm platinum.
You bronze in Street Fighter.
Just slightly shinier
You're nice
silver.
at fighter.
God, this is crazy.
My
I am
my
nice at Fighters.
eternal
Mario Party. Sorry,
concern
go ahead.
with the collection is just that like I feel like every now and then Capcom usually gets something wrong with the collections, or they use like the wrong versions of the games, and it's like
Sure.
Yeah, so
never
the
quite
version they're
feels right.
using is like the latest versions of the arcade games.
Yeah, Max was
Hmm.
talking about it. He seemed confident
Okay.
from what he was seeing.
Yeah,
Like they're
Also,
not
what
using
I
they're not
remember-
using like console like they're not using
Okay,
the
good, good.
360 version of MVC2.
Yeah.
good, because that was like
Good.
I know obviously a lot of people were very understandably so very hyped when they saw the announcement. I was like very cautious because I thought there's so many things that they could just do wrong with this
Mm.
that would just kind
Sure.
of hamper the excitement. But the more I learn, the more I'm like, okay, yeah, this
They've
should be really
also-
good.
Their last few collections have been like the best.
Capcom's
ones
been good
they've
with
done.
it.
Oh yeah, the Street Fighter collection that came out a couple years ago is great. I still play
The
that. all
Mega
time.
Man ones are all good.
Yeah.
Yep,
As
the
much as
Mega
I
Man ones are good.
want, as much as I
I mean,
want,
there's
new
another
stuff-
collection in here.
Oh yeah, that's true. But it's one of those things of as much as I want new stuff, I do like. I am very happy Capcom cares about like their legacy shit. Like, they make
Yes.
sure, making sure that's available in like the best way possible forever. And I think also people were saying that now that they've done this is like most of their old school 2D fighting game libraries, so they can almost have to start making new
Yep.
stuff.
New
I mean,
stuff.
but they are making
So-
new stuff.
Well, no, other new fighting games because we just have Street Fighter, and Mega Man's also been dead for
Revive
ever.
Dark Stalkers.
Nah, man, they're gonna
fine.
figure out Mega Man Legends shit somehow.
Yeah,
I would
think
love
so,
that.
too.
If
They're
they
gonna
do a
find
Mega Man
ways to-
Legends thing, that'd be great.
They're
What I was
gonna
going to
figure
say
out
is,
that.
because you had mentioned, Viram, that there's other games in this collection. You know, there's like 7 games in there in addition to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You got the original, you got some of the X-Men games. One of the ones that's in there that's actually really good that I don't know if anyone else has played is The Punisher.
I've
that-
never.
you know
I
what?
didn't even know that
It
existed.
is very, very good. If anyone has ever played that game before, it's great that it's finally getting a re-release because again, I didn't even think that was available on any modern platforms anywhere. I don't
Yeah,
think it
it
was
wasn't.
like I haven't
I've
heard
never
anybody.
heard of
talk
What I
about
learned
this.
is that
Yeah.
that's the first game that those two have collaborated on, and that it is much more like Like they needed to censor it for this collection, apparently.
Really? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's a beat 'em up, and I think it was on Genesis. I don't know if this collection's version is the Genesis version or the arcade version. My assumption is it's also the arcade version, just like the other ones. How you guys said it's like the most recent edition, but that game rules. Yeah, it's really
censoring
fun.
a game about the Punisher, I guess.
The
makes sense.
key art for
If-
this
Yeah,
thing
sure.
are also unbelievably good.
Very cool. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, overall, very exciting announcement with Marvel vs. Capcom, and then
right after,
Super
yes, sir.
Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh my
Here
God,
we
they
go.
Finally did it.
So this game looks like it's just a fusion of Super Mario Party and Superstars.
Exactly.
Superstars,
Yes,
which
it
is
It
what
looks
they
like
needed
it's
to do.
literally
That's what I
it's
wanted.
just
That's
like
what they
both.
should have done.
Yeah, it looks like it's both games rosters, and then it's like the mini game philosophy from
100%.
both of them as well.
Yep.
Because it has the Joy-Con games as well as the
Yeah.
regular.
And they confirmed you don't have to use the
So is
Joy-Con.
Bowser playable?
Yeah, he's playable.
Because you
Yeah.
can also fight Bowser.
Yeah, I think they don't care.
Okay, good.
I probably just don't care. But
Yeah,
Or
I like-
maybe,
the
maybe when
roster.
you're playing as Bowser on the map, maybe it turns into Dry Bowser or something. You know,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But this,
I could
no,
do something like that.
I saw
like
this.
a robot one or
Yo,
something.
bro, we're running this shit up, bro.
Of course, bro. It's
This
that's
looks
Mario
fun.
Party number
20
3 on the same.
players?
I am curious about like the 20-player mode because
It seems it's a mini game rally. Obviously,
that
it's not
that
like a
that shit can't be like input delay netcode. So what did they do?
I mean, I know I played.
I think Mario Party Superstars was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't have any problems with it.
Yeah, but that's 4 people.
They improved the netcode for Super Mario Party as well. There was that random update.
That's right.
one
That's
point.
right.
Oh yeah, they
That's-
did. Yeah, that's,
That's with 4 people though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fewer people.
Yeah. So what happens with 20?
I think it'll
They-
be.
they updated
fine.
more.
Latency.
I
don't
also
know,
like that they have Ninji's playable, which I thought was
Ninja's
kind of cool.
playable.
Also,
I
man,
really
of all
assumed-
the maps, the one I wanted that wasn't in
Cowboy?
Superstars. Yes, Western Land.
yeah. I got the one I wanted because I like
I
Mario's
couldn't
Rainbow
believe it.
Castle.
I love it, man. Absolutely
They
love it.
so were supposed to put those two as DLC for Superstars.
You think so? And they were like, hold on to the next
Of course.
game.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
literally-
for sure.
They're
dude.
literally
Yeah,
Mario
sorry.
Party 1 and 3 boards. Like they.
Shoso,
that
can you
fit what
can you go
Superstars
back
was.
to the 20-player where they're on like it's like 10 seconds ago when they're running away from Bowser? I think it's forward. Yeah, that's
I
what.
hear it is. Yeah.
These like they're bumping into each other.
Yeah.
Like you could do that with rollback, but it'd be like weird. So like I want to know what they're doing. It's like
I'm sure they're doing some crazy shit.
yeah, but
It does-
Nintendo usually doesn't manage to pull off crazy shit when it comes to netcode.
They
So
do
I'm
whenever
curious.
they're random ass games that don't matter.
That's
they don't
true.
do it for the games that need it.
So there you go. So you're saying this one's going to be fine.
Yeah, I for me, yeah, it's like we said. Like for me, this is what I exactly want. I was like, okay, now you guys understand the type of boards people want from Superstars, but just give us new shit as what Super Mario Party was, and just give us basically this is technically really the first legit full Mario Party new since like 8. Really, I would genuinely consider that.
Yeah, because again, like you
I
said,
think
it's like
that
a
this
mix
is-
of both of the 2 recent ones. Yeah, it looks great. And something else that looks great that was shocking that I did not expect in the
not-
slightest.
Oh,
We are getting a new 2D Zelda in the year 2024, a brand new game, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, where you play as Zelda. And since they've released key art for this and people have been doing some digging and looking at it, it appears that the reason why it's actually also looking like Link's Awakening still is because this is a follow-up to Link's Awakening, which is so unbelievably cool that they had remade Link's Awakening and just sort of like how they did Link to the Past and then Link Between Worlds, they're like, screw it, let's just keep the same art style and make a sequel. It looks
So wait,
amazing.
so after so this you know how Link comes and fights Ganondorf here and saves Zelda. Doesn't that imply that there's just a whole Zelda game that we just don't get?
Well, no. So the theory
'Cause
is
he's-
that he
That's not from Link's Awakening. That's not
No,
Ganondorf from Link.
the notion that's going on is basically just that when he left the island in Link's
Right.
Awakening, he went to Hyrule. Just to
Yeah, and then
answer
there's a whole
Ganondorf.
game we just don't get, and now we play Zelda.
I guess.
Well, the game
that
that
could
we
be a
got
third
was
one. I don't know.
right? Because wasn't it that
they could cook on it?
Also,
'Cause
I think what they're doing is at the
Right?
beginning, it looks like they're gonna just do like a fake out, even though they're advertising it as Zelda. Like it's gonna let you play as Link at the
Oh,
start.
for sure.
I
Yeah,
think
that
there's
opening
gonna be
bit-
Link
of
segments.
course.
I wouldn't even be shocked.
Maybe
if
in
they
the
have-
others like world he's in.
Yeah,
maybe
I
it's
think
Light
he
World,
has
Dark
another
World.
because he's like heavily on the box. I mean, it's like he's a big figure in the back of it, and I
And they
feel
could
like
easily
that-
pull some stuff where he loses all his equipment.
exactly. It'll
Oh,
probably
yeah,
be like
definitely.
using some pocket dimensions, and he does some little dungeon stuff down there.
It looks like so much fun. It
It's
really
sick.
does.
I can't believe that after all this time, we're actually finally getting a Zelda game
Zelda,
where we get
yeah.
to play
With
as
Zelda,
Zelda.
right.
Yeah.
It's
People
a
have
big
been
deal.
clamoring
I mean,
for
Not
this
counting
forever.
stuff like Hyrule Warriors, obviously, but like
Yeah.
it's it's so cool that they made her so like unique and different to what you would
Yes.
expect from conventional
I-
Zelda gameplay. It's very inventive.
A lot of people have wanted like, playable Zelda game for a while, and I honestly was kind of hoping for like, Legend of Zelda game, but Zelda, like weapon, like combat, whatever, just like different. But I'm actually like really happy that they didn't do that, and that they did like
Yeah.
come up with something extremely.
Well,
unique
it's
and
probably
different.
still gonna be like that because there's 4 other items or 3 other items that
yeah.
are on the D-pad.
It's
One of them's
sick.
probably a melee weapon.
Yeah, because I was talking like people on Twitter were talking about, or even like on stream stuff, were just saying how, like, oh, they didn't like that it feels too like puzzly. But I was like, there's like 3 other slots on that thing. This weapon
Yeah.
is not the only thing she has. It's probably just the one they're highlighting. 'cause
Also,
it's
the
main
whole
tree.
inventory of items that you get in Zelda games.
Yeah, exactly. Too many people hyperfixated on that, but it's like it's so clever. I think this is such a genius way to sort of Breath of the Wildify a 2D Zelda or a top-down Zelda,
Yes.
and just make it like everyone's gonna go through. I'm so excited to see like how people solve shit, because I'm sure there's gonna be crazy clips of someone beating a dungeon because they had some weird.
You're gonna be able to
combo
break the
segment.
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I mean,
This
you're able to copy every little thing
Yeah,
in the
I'm
world.
pretty.
Like
This
the
game
chairs
is
and
a direct
Speedrunner's
byproduct
dream.
of Breath of the
I love
Wild
it.
existence.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it feels
yeah.
like.
I really
They
do
really
love it,
wanted to
man.
I mean-
lean very heavily into that style of people can figure out stuff their own way, so it makes content
Yeah.
just from people playing it so
Just-
different to each other.
Just
even
freaking
the
puzzles.
inventory menu, I think, is like very Breath of the Wild-esque. The way they have it like roll up with the scrolling and everything. It looks so good. Also, like seeing a lot of the traditional 3D Zelda characters in that 2D art style for the first time is really cool. Like seeing the little Deku scrubs look like how they looked in Majora's Mask, seeing the traditional Soras instead of the Zoras, how they look in the old game, seeing like
Well,
the Deku tree.
I think in the Oracle games, they like define them as 2 races.
Oh, did they? The 2 different Zoras?
Yeah, I think the weird like frog Zoras are ones that live in the river.
Gotcha.
That Switch looks so good. I wish it was an OLED. If it was an OLED, I would have folded. But I'm not going for a
Also, that's clearly, we talked about this on the show previously in regards to like the sales, and we were saying, well, they'll probably end up beating the PS2, just have a price drop or something. No price drop in sight. You just got to drop a gold Switch Lite. That thing's going to
Yep.
sell immediately.
It's gonna sell 100%.
Yeah, and the game comes unbelievably
September,
even sooner
dude. I
than
can't
Mario and
believe that.
Luigi, even sooner than Mario Party. Echoes of Wisdom comes out September 26th, 2024. So
They,
we are 2 months away.
They like September for 2D Zelda. So Link's Awakening also came
They
out
do.
in September with the original Switch Lite.
Fall is also just kind of a good Zelda time. I feel like, traditionally people are used to the spring releases now with like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for the 3D ones. But like previously, with Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, pretty much any of them prior were always big fall releases. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It
I think
does,
it looks really good.
I don't think that the D-pad is going to be like particularly significant other things. We're
think
definitely
it
going to get
will
other
be.
stuff on those buttons, but I don't think it's going to be like massive gameplay changing stuff.
It's not gonna be massive, but I think there will be like a spell, like a cool attack spell you could do, or some sort of reflect or something, There's gonna be something you get for
Yeah,
beating
she's
a
definitely
dungeon.
gonna have like magic or something that's gonna happen. Yeah, like maybe she'll have Din's Fire and Nehru's Love and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's gonna definitely have a mana bar. There's
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
stuff you don't know yet. But it's good that you could just summon. What was that? Was that Impa? I think it was Impa, the old lady.
The old lady. I love the the little the spinning items with the blades on the side. I love that she summons one and then uses it like the spinner from Twilight Princess and was like riding around on it.
I didn't even know that. That's so sick. If you like toss
really cool.
meat, the birds go and eat it, and then you just hit them all.
Oh yeah, and then you set them all off. Yeah,
experimenting is gonna be so fun. I think that's. There's gonna be so many clips on Twitter. You're like, oh, you could. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I do feel like this is gonna be a really fun stream game. Because I love streaming Link's Awakening. That game was super fun too. Because it's like a shorter, smaller kind of fun Zelda experience. But yeah, man, like the way you can break this.
How I beat Echoes of Wisdom with only signs.
Yeah,
that'll happen for sure.
I feel like this is also more enjoyable to like stream and even like customize, because I feel like there's a difference between trying out one thing as opposed to like in Tears of the Kingdom when you spend like 30 minutes trying to customize a card that you made that looks
building
like
something. Sure.
First 2 hours this game is out, someone's getting out of bounds.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Someone's getting to the final boss, someone's beating it. There's gonna be table only runs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Table percent. Let's go.
Table percent, right. So then the segment after that was what I felt was probably the most filler portion. You got Just Dance, you had the Horizon stuff we already saw before. Actually, Stray coming to Switch is kind of cool. People are going to be able to play that.
It's what I was talking about with the pacing. Like, I feel like having Marvel, Mario Party, and Zelda all back to back, yeah, it's like hype, but like, I feel like it could have helped to have one of those spaced out in that middle section at the end.
What are you talking about, dude? I don't understand.
Oh, they just did Marvel.
Nintendo's just
Mario
padding out their
Party.
shit.
Yeah, but because they show like 6 things now that don't matter.
So what is the plot of this? What is the plot of this movie you're watching?
I'm just saying, as a presentation, the pacing would be better if you split the shit to different parts, man.
I understand where you're coming from, but I genuinely did not have that problem watching this one at all.
Yeah.
There's definitely been ones where I felt like the pacing was significantly worse. And I feel like at least every 5 minutes there was something big.
That's valid.
We're like, even when Ricky and I were watching it, we were both sitting there like, oh my God, we still have this much time left and they've already shown off this, and this. And it did feel like, yeah, in those bursts where they had a bunch of things at once, you could really feel like the hype flowing. So it was fun. It was like having a little bit of downtime in between was fine.
I see
it was
chat,
engaging,
like, I see it chat like talk about it, but for me, there's a difference between when I'm like talking about the games I love versus like judging the presentation itself. A presentation can be done. I think it matters to me. I mean, as someone who.
So what I would say is I think it's fine that they have these downtime stuff that you possibly don't care about, because then you can talk more about the stuff you do. I mean, that's what I do. It's like, hey, this game that comes up. It's like, I don't care about this, so I can talk more about that the last game.
That's what I did. Right.
I just think that as someone who's like put together presentations and like watches them, I do feel like pacing in some way matters. It's the same reason you'll watch a conference and you'll be like, oh my God, why are they still on this thing? Oh, we've done 4 games in a row that look the same, instead of sort of trying to show your good parts at different moments.
True, but also Ace Attorney Investigations coming out with Edgeworth. Very cool. That was part of that little ending montage thing. Those are GBA games or DS games that are getting remade? Okay, because they're full remakes. They obviously never were released here. Very cool that we're getting that as a full collection. I think with this, we'll now have all of the Ace Attorney games on modern platforms as well, too, right? I think they're all going to be available.
Yes.
The only one is the Layton and...
Layton and Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney, I think that's the only one. By the way, no Layton in this direct either. Kind of surprising. I thought for sure that would be here, but they're waiting. I know they already said that it's 2025, but maybe we'll see it a little bit later on, or maybe they move it to the next system or something. But either way, very cool to see Ace Attorney. And then, of course, after the farming sims and after the Danganronpa looking game, we got Romancing Saga getting a full remake, which is pretty neat.
Ooh.
Romancing Saga 2.
Ooh. I'm not going to lie. I've been wanting to play those games for a while, and I just haven't gotten to it. So seeing that I got like a full 3D remake was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Can someone tell me, does anybody else hate the Danganronpa art style?
Yes.
I also don't like it. Yeah,
I don't
like
I
it.
can't stand it.
I cannot stand out those characters.
It's so ugly.
Bro, on my stream, I said that shit. I said that video game looked like a fucking Mr. Beast video.
I like the Danganronpa art style, except for the fact that the characters look cross-eyed half the time.
Dude, the character,
That does look weird. Yeah.
Everything but that, I like the stylization and the art style. Just the fact that they look cross-eyed half the time bothers the shit out of me.
But this is a new IP, right? So like we kept saying it was Danganronpa, but it is like a new IP by the Danganronpa people.
Yeah.
But it's basically still the same thing, right? You're still in a school. It's just the gameplay.
It seems like it's not murder mystery. It's more like tactic defense kind of thing.
Well, as the resident tactics lover, I ain't playing that shit. Because we are getting Metroid Prime 4, baby! Metroid Prime 4 finally confirmed. 7 years in development, technically 4 because they restarted development. We are finally...
that is not how it works.
Well, okay. But Metroid Prime 4, we're finally seeing Metroid Prime 4. It looks gorgeous. I love it.
This game gonna have some sick lore implications for the 13 people that played Metroid Prime Hunters.
That is, well, okay. What is
seeing the Hunter pop up was kind of interesting.
Seeing Silex is there, but actually the thing about that is that I didn't know this. I played Hunters. I own Hunters, and it's a fun game. I never played Federation Force, and apparently the end of Federation Force, minor spoilers, has Silex basically stealing the last remaining Metroid, which is why he now has like a whole family of them behind him that he's controlling in this one.
It's like a secret or extra ending, I think.
Yes.
It's the most like Kingdom Hearts as
it's not like the
that is crazy that now yeah, exactly.
It's not like the normal ending. It's like extra.
Yeah. But Silex obviously was like one of the most popular hunters from that original game, and they were obviously setting things up with him, even dating back to Corruption. So it's very cool to see them continuing it. The game looks stunning. I know there were arguments about people saying that it's not on Switch, it's running on Switch too. I actually do think it's running on Switch. I think anybody who's played Metroid Prime Remastered knows that it totally looked like that. That game was gorgeous. And it looks like that. Not really. I mean, it looks like that, to be fair. I think the difference is that they changed the UI, they changed a couple things, but like for the most part, the actual visual fidelity, I think, looks very similar to Metroid Prime Remastered. And the other thing about it is obviously like because it's coming out so late in the Switch's life cycle, you know, if games like Paper Mario have back-end things that are getting them ready for Switch 2, I'm sure this will too. I still am not fully convinced this isn't going to be a cross-gen game.
I think it's going to be like launch like Tears of the Tears game. Breath of the Wild was. So it's going to be on both.
Twilight Princess.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah.
I don't even think it has to even do a cross launch. I just think it's just going to be available on
the same day and then you can play it. Yeah.
But it looks so good, man. Like I couldn't believe seeing it. Like, damn, man, it's almost like we've gone so long without seeing it that even looking at it, I still don't believe we've seen it.
Right.
It feels genuinely surreal.
Like Nintendo is very good at making their games look great on their shitty hardware, which is nice. But this trailer in particular, just watching it, like, it looks very good for a Switch game, but just something about this trailer, because it's a bit more of like a realistic and like, you know, higher def art style, I guess, as opposed to like the more cartoony stuff that you get with like Kirby or Mario or whatever.
Sure.
This trailer in particular made me sad because like, damn, this game could look so fucking good on like a real console.
Man, it'll look good on the Switch too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's going to look good, but like it could look amazing.
Yeah.
If they just had good hardware.
We'll get another one in 5 years. Like, it doesn't matter. I think, like, to me, like, them being a generation behind isn't that big of a deal to me, simply because of the fact, like, I think it's only a big deal when you see those shitty games that you saw in, like, the montages, like the Fairy Tales.
I feel like it's not a big deal at the start, but the longer it goes on, the worse it feels.
Of course.
Yeah. But I hope I don't know. I hope it looks different on Switch too. Like, I hope it looks sick.
I'm sure it'll look really good. I don't know. I feel like, personally, I'm at a point where, like, graphics have gotten so good where obviously things can absolutely look better, but it's, to me at least, who's not like trained by 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, all that kind of stuff. I'm not like, I'm not sensitive to that. To me, it just looks great.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'm not even saying this from like a sensitivity thing of like frame rate or like, you know, being a snob about graphics or whatever. I just like, I definitely enjoy that Nintendo goes for more stylized stuff most of the time because I think it is easier to make that look really good. And because the closer that you try to get to like realism and like super high def stuff, the easier it is to kind of fuck it up and make it look bad.
Yeah.
So it's good to kind of try and stay in that little stylized like corner, because otherwise you just get into the uncanny valley super easily. And I think that's a problem I have with a lot of like AAA titles that do go for a more realistic look.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wish Nintendo's hardware was better so that they could push those stylized looks even better.
I want to see what
Which I
Monolith does when they're not chained back by fucking old ass Nintendo consoles.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I
it's
really want to
amazing.
see.
Yeah. I mean, from what we know of Switch 2, it's gonna be like pretty powerful. Like, I feel like that's when we're really gonna start seeing Nintendo games that genuinely. I mean, we're gonna have our first time seeing a Nintendo game in 4K, which will be surreal.
Yeah, that'll be our first 3D Mario in 4K and Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and stuff. It's gonna be great. Yeah, we're getting close.
I'm interested as well with Psylocke, just because they are like a less mentioned character in the lore, like barely touched on. I'm curious if it's gonna be like another female bounty hunter and give us like the same unexpected twist that like Samus did back in the day.
Don't we know Psylocke is a dude? Psylocke is a dude, yeah.
So I actually went looking into this because I was still unsure of this. I looked into it today, and I found one thing from an interview with a developer, which was like a Japanese developer, and so that could be a mistranslation to actually use like gendered pronouns, because the Psylocke trophy in, I think, Brawl, I think it was Brawl. There's a trophy in a Smash game that says "it" when referring to Psylocke.
Isn't it because he's like part robot or something though?
That's what I mean. Like, we don't know. There's so little information because this was just like it was kind of just a side character in Hunters that then popped up in Federation Force. Like, we don't know a lot. I think they've left themselves open to like doing whatever they want.
Look the trophy up quick.
It's sick. Yeah, I just was looking at the screenshots from the press kit of like Psylocke walking in there with the 4 space pirates and the 2 Metroids behind him. Like, that looks so fire. It really does look good. That is unbelievable that that's on Switch.
A skilled marksman and bounty hunter, experienced in espionage skills, but while much of its background remains a mystery, it is clear that it hates Samus and the Federation. This is from Brawl, though. I don't know if any more info came out about him after Brawl.
This looks like Smash 4. I don't think that's Brawl.
No, it's Brawl.
It's Brawl.
Oh, that's Brawl? Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah, at that time, Federation Forces didn't exist, so I don't know if there was more.
True. Well, again, I haven't played I might have to play Federation Force now. It's probably incredibly cheap to buy it. I don't think anyone's rushing to play Federation Force. So, overall though, I think, despite the weird pacing stuff like Fadel was mentioning, I think this was an amazing direct. I mean, having this late in the life cycle, having 2 major Mario games coming out this holiday season, a brand new Zelda title, and Metroid Prime 4. Like, that alone is shocking.
Yeah,
and I feel like there was
actually had so much stuff in the tank still.
Yeah, and then like I said, all the third-party stuff was really good, between like MVC being there. The NSO updates I thought was great, that getting their own what's it called? The new app, and then also having the stuff on GBA. It was just, I think overall it was a really solid direct.
It's on those things. The philosophy of all of these presentations usually is like, if there ends up being 3 or 4 things on a personal note that you really liked, then they did a good job. And for me, that was like in spades. I mean, Luigi, Zelda, Mario Party, like those are my big 3 for the presentation. And then MVC is fantastic bonus, and seeing Prime was sick.
Yeah, across the board, I just feel like that was, I think, what people were taking away from this, and what I was seeing on Twitter afterwards is that like this direct had a bunch of things that were niche, that are going to make certain people very, very happy. And because they managed to do that while also doing like the Mario, Zeldas, and Metroids, like having a heavy hitter in each of those, that pretty much like nobody was disappointed if you like Nintendo at all. Like, I feel like everybody had something.
Came out with something, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is cool. Very cool.
That's it, man.
I think that's everything.
Yep.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this sucker up? Otherwise, we've been doing a solid 2-hour show talking about all these announcements. Lots of stuff to play. It's going to be an exciting year coming up. Exciting next 6 months even. Rest of 2024 is looking like it's going to be good.
October is going to be looking pretty fire.
Absolutely. November too. With all the RPGs.
Bro. It's Sparking Zero on the 11th, Mario Party on the 17th, and Sonic on the 25th. Bro, week to week, I'm done. It's over. That's
right. I guess really quick, who's playing Elden Ring DLC and Dawntrail?
Oh, me, for sure.
Definitely
Both,
playing
actually
Dawntrail.
both.
Dawntrail 100%.
Both, yep.
I never fought Maul.
We could bring that up,
and-
Roger.
I didn't know Elden Ring DLC was as much as the actual game, so I'm not playing it yet.
Apparently it's like 40 hours or something.
Wait, how much?
Yeah, I didn't know it was so fucking big.
It's $60.
It's like 50, 40,
Oh.
somewhere around there.
I didn't know that. But yes, what McDareth was alluding to is that by probably the next show, when did we say we're going to do it? It'll be before the next show.
Yeah, it'll be before the next show.
Okay, before the next show, we are going to be doing a Final Fantasy XIV spoiler cast for everything FF14 from the beginning leading up to Dawntrail. I think we're going to record it at some point next week.
No,
and
this weekend. This weekend. It was supposed to be.
This
Saturday.
upcoming weekend. Oh, then we're doing. Never mind. That's what we're doing then. So we're doing it this Saturday. We're going to record it. I got to rush to finish up the last little mission that I have left then. But we will be doing a spoiler cast. That's something I know we've been talking about for a while. We wanted to get it done before people start entering early access for Final Fantasy XIV. So we're going to do a spoiler cast for that. And obviously the next show will be in 2 weeks, but actually it'll be less than 2 weeks because it'll not be this upcoming Monday, but the Monday afterwards. Because obviously we moved it to Tuesday because of the Nintendo Direct. So once again,
because he knew something.
I did, actually. I did because of the Dragon Quest preview. Now I could safely say because I reviewed Dragon Quest, I knew it was going to be the 18th. So
You guys hear that, My
being
Nintendo
said-
news?
Well, it's done now. The news
No,
is out.
he knows stuff. Next time.
No, let's not start this. So either way, thank you all for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Please remember that Kevin Spacey jerked off to D-Day.
Why would you end with that? Well, I was going to have Ricky do something, but Ricky, do you have another story? Something that's better than what Zeph just said? Please, Ricky.
Ricky was in the theater.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh my God. Let's just end this.
He was there.
I'm done. I'm done.
So is
He is Kevin Spacey.
It's over.
Kevin Spacey was done too.